This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
It's a house! Huh?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Did you hear what I said? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. You know, that's just one step above stupid.
The Graybot 5000. Oh, was it 9,000? I forgot the number. How's it going, everybody? I actually have a real fly flying around. Apparently the other people, there's people out there that think that fly is some symbol that I'm some evil creature. And there's a fly crawling around. Yeah. That's just it's actually sort of funny out there these days, you know? Just the crazy people. There was a lunatic in the comments of that video that I put out. Listen to this. Listen to this logic right here. And she said, the girls weren't even on the bridge. It's clearly stated in the document that the Monon High Bridge trails where the girls were seen. However, the bridge isn't part of the trail system, Gray. So they obviously weren't. I mean, you know, is that real? Is that something real? Is that what people, is there a segment of people out there that believe that stuff? I'm just curious. Man. How frightening. So anyways, I'm going to go over our missing person case just to get her name out there. There isn't really a ton of info. And then after that, we're going to I'll go over, here's what I want to do. I want to go over all the technical stuff around the crime scene, okay? Because I think everybody needs to understand it. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that there's still people going, man, I'm confused. So here's what the deal is when we're going over it later, you can ask any question you want, and I'm going to explain it until you get it. If you don't get it, we're not moving on, okay? And I'll be able to tell if you're a troll or not, or somebody that really shouldn't be following true crime just by the amount of time it'll take, okay? So that's what we're going to do later. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. You can type it in, and we're going to go through it, all right? It shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, it's really simple, you guys. Absolutely simple. There's nothing confusing about the crime scene. There's nothing. Now, it is confusing if you're somebody who's in the wrong places and you're watching and listening to wackadoodles who actually will start trying to tell you that that's actually on the other side of the bridge. They walked around in this long convoluted way around the side over the cliff and everything. And so that would cause that might be an issue for you. Okay, I actually know the reality of it, 100%, okay? And one of the reasons I know it is because I created a Flow of the Crime video back after the first 10 days of just everybody all over the place, a lone forked tree solved put everything into place. That's what's crazy sometimes. It just takes one provable landmark and boom, everything is nailed, right? So I put it all together, the flow of the crime. I wasn't exactly on the spots on the bridge and things like that, you know, but they called me up and said, hey, you know, the prosecutor said, hey, that's really cool. You got it figured out. We like how you did that. If we make an arrest, we'll hire you, possibly would hire me to make something similar, but there never was one. And the prosecutor who said that Robert Ives is not there anymore. Right? But it's because it was accurate, not because it was some fanciful, sensationalistic crap. It was real. Right? So, there you go. Hey, welcome, Dandelion. By the way, everybody, this is the last day before tomorrow, which is donation night. Every day is the last day before tomorrow, but tomorrow is our big last night, right? All right, let's see. I'm going to do this missing person just to get it out there. It might help. Somebody out there might see something. Who knows? So her name looks like it's Laken Elezabeth. Elizabeth spelled different than normal. There's an E after the L instead of an I guess. So here we go. This was on the Facebook post. Hold on, I gotta go get the zoom in on that. Hold on a second. It's August 30th, 2022. Oakland County Sheriff detectives are asking for the public's help locating a 15-year-old Commerce Township girl who's been missing for more than a week. Laken Elizabeth Lewis has not been seen by her family since she left her home in the Stratford Villa Mobile Home Park to go for a walk at about 6:15 p.m. on August 18th. So, man, that's 12 days already. She was due to come home approximately 2 hours later and never returned. So now it'd be interesting to see what the parents say and people that know her. Is that something that she might have done? The girl's mother said Laken is never late, oh there you go, without asking for permission, and would have kept her informed if she were to be late. So let me put her... I want to make a folder really quick. This seems like one that might go on here. Hold on a second. And I have a real fly flying around. We did it barbecued outside, and the damn fly came in with the smell. Hey, thanks, LM, as in Element Open. All right, so this is in Michigan, in Commerce Township, I guess. So let's see where that is. Commerce Township, Michigan. Let's just put a pin there really quick. So somewhere out in this area. Commerce Township. The girl's mother said Laken is never late without asking for permission and would have kept her informed if she were to be late. Laken's biological father lives in Grand Haven in West Michigan and told detectives he had not had contact with his daughter in several weeks. Laken is described as 5'7", 110 pounds, and has long dark hair. She was last seen wearing a light blue zip-up jacket, shorts or multicolored pants, and white Nike Air Force One shoes. The family has not had any contact with her through social media. Detectives have received few tips as to her whereabouts. Anyone who has seen or heard from Laken should call the sheriff's office at 248-858-4950. And I've got a few different articles here. This is from the 30th, so today. Let me go to the ones prior though first. So this one's from the 26th. Oakland County Sheriff Detective said a week after a 15-year-old Commerce Township girl went missing that they have few tips on her whereabouts. Laken Elizabeth Lewis has not been seen by her family since she left her home in the Stratford Villa Mobile Home Park. Okay, now we've got that. We can actually put that in there. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. Fishing in the Dark said she's blocked on here or something. She couldn't get on. It could be she's not signed in. Okay, sorry about that. So let's see, Stratford Villa Mobile Home. There it is. Is that what this? Yep. So it's right in this area then. So we can move this over to the mobile home park. And I guess this whole area, man, that's pretty chock filled with mobile homes there, isn't it? So she went for a walk at 6:15 p.m. August 18th. The girl's mother told detectives the girl planned to be back about 2 hours after she left but never returned, telling them the girl would ask permission before being late and would keep in contact if she were late. The girl's father lives in Grand Haven and told detectives he had not had contact with his daughter in several weeks. So this says again that she's 5'7", 110 pounds, was wearing light blue zip-up jacket, pants, and white Nike Air Force One sneakers. I mean, she's right at that age where people, sometimes, guys and girls run away. Just a second. Can somebody check to see, go to Get Fishing in the Dark's YouTube channel, please? Family told detectives they have not had any contact with her social media. The family told detectives they have not had any contact with her through social media. Detectives said they have received few tips as to her whereabouts. Anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office at 248-858-4950. And if you can find her YouTube channel, maybe email it to me. She says she can't get in here, so I'm not sure what the deal is. She's one of the long-time viewers here. And here's another one from August 27th. Detectives are renewing their request for the public's help in finding missing Commerce Township teen. Oakland County Sheriff's detectives are asking for the public's help locating 15-year-old Laken Elizabeth Lewis, who has been missing for more than a week. Police say she's not been seen by her family since she left her home in Stratford Villa Mobile Home Park to go for a walk at 6:15 on August 18th. So let me put all this in there. This is going to be 6:15 p.m. August 18, 2022. Okay, we got that. And let's see if they have Street View down here now. So basically it looks like this. Man, that made me dizzy. It looks like you enter there and just go to your mobile home. And but that is that age, right? Like 15 years old, where people do run away. But it doesn't sound like that's something she normally does. And it's also the age of trafficking. So it's kind of this weird age where, trafficking and running away are two things that are definitely possible. Lewis is described as 5'7". Yeah, we already went through that. Blue jacket. The Nikes. Let's see. Let me get this other link here. There might be, what I'll probably do is if people have any other information, like if the mother's done interviews or something like that, that'd be great. I didn't see anything. Nothing just popped up when I was looking for it. It's something it came across. I don't know if I was emailed it or where it came from, but I was like, well, she's been missing for 12 days. That's not good. If it was 3, you might still be wondering if she was just out. I don't know, but Well, she might have YouTube videos or something. I don't know, Zozo. Okay. Let's see. We'll figure her out later. She's just kind of wondering what's going on. A 15-year-old Commerce Township girl has been missing since she left her home on a walk on August 18th. This is today. Laken Elizabeth Lewis was last seen around 6:15 at her home in the Stratford Villa mobile home park and was expected to return in 2 hours. So I wonder what she said she was going to go do. You know, like, you know, you're at home and you tell your mom, oh yeah, I'm going to be gone for a couple hours, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to say, right? Her mother told Oakland County Sheriff's Office that Lewis is never late without asking for permission. Her biological father lives in Grand Haven in West Michigan, said he hadn't heard from Lewis in several weeks. Last week, detectives said they have received few tips. Lewis is 5'7", 110 pounds, and has long, dark-colored hair. That's kind of creepy, you know, where there's no tips and she took off and there's just like nothing. I mean, did she not have somebody she was seeing? Did she have any friends that she talked to about some guy or anything? Was she, you know... I mean, the FBI needs to get in on this one quick. You know, start looking at her social media presence and try to figure what's going on here. This is, it looks like it's already kind of late. I mean, you're 12 days in here. And she, you know, she appears to be attractive, so it might be something where she was targeted somehow. That's, I don't know. I mean, wow, what a crazy one. Just boom, disappeared, leaves the house, bam, gone for, 12 days. Yeah, I think trafficking definitely is a possibility. I mean, especially when you're gone that long without calling, and she never does that. So you always got to listen to the parents in cases like this, because they actually know the behavior and routine of their children. And if they tell you that, hey, this isn't normal at all, the police should immediately shift gears and take it a lot more serious. Like, maybe she just could be a runaway. Let's not worry about it too soon. No, you got to worry about it when they tell you that's not what they do. And maybe if, they're happy, blah, 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 blah. There's probably tons of things that the parents would know, right? Okay. So that's, I don't have any more to add to it, but we do have it initially mapped out here. So if we can somehow get more information, and maybe we'll do an update in a longer segment on it. Just a second. Well, thank you, Charleston Amy. That was very nice of you. And also Lisa Corinne, I think. So thank you very much on PayPal there. But yeah, this is our last night, you guys, going into the final night of the month, which is tomorrow. So, whether tonight's a decent night or not, whatever. It's tomorrow's a good one, right? Let's see. I appreciate it. I gotta get I knew something was missing. I just realized it was the music. Okay, so we're gonna go back over the information. I want everybody to get it. Like, I don't, the thing is if people, there's people out there that watch my channel all the time, right? And when people talk about Delphi, they're not confused at all about the physical locations and how people were moving around or anything like that. There's no confusion. But when you linger on these crazy channels that talk about a book being slid off of a bed while it's being tried to, put into a bag or something, I mean, it's just, wow. That's the kind of crap that you're going to know and be really into that. And then the other stuff doesn't matter to you, because what difference does it make if if these psychos are the killers, where they were over there. We already know who the killers are, man. It's one of the family members. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy people. And they show up everywhere. Like I would say that I'm probably the most trolled YouTuber there is in the true crime community. You know, and it's mainly because I don't allow crap. Now, people are really angry. Gray, you're the one that used to say people were way, call them names and shit if they said it was social media. If you can find me calling somebody name because they suggested social media, give me the time code in the clip, okay? I have said, no, that's not it, and just move on. And the reason I said that it wasn't social media related, was because Robert Ives told me that early on, and then he also told us in a podcast in 2019 the same thing, that while he was there was no social media angle. He was there a year. Then law enforcement told the family over and over and over and over again that there was no social media angle, and then all of a sudden it turns out it's catfishing, like a lot of people were saying back then. So yes, the people that kept saying it over and over and over again with no evidence, by the way, that it was catfishing, you guys were right. Good job. All right, excellent. I don't have a problem shifting. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks, Sarita. What was funny about that, the Velvet Army? What's funny? That's just it. You just stop right there. Just boom, right? Yeah, I think if the FBI had not kept focused on the Kagan Klein angle, boom, it would have been solved a long time ago. Well, it's hard to keep an open mind when law enforcement tells you something, right? Because they're the ones that know the answer. It wasn't until 2019 when they did the reset that they changed their mind. You see, that's the thing. So the public only gets fed what law enforcement thinks at the time, and later on they change it. Then you got to shift. But spending time wondering about stuff that they're not wondering about seems like a waste of time, but in this case, I guess it wouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? And none of these phone numbers are working right now. Let me just turn them off. Thanks, Tony Lee. Boom. I think the Velvet Army was trying to start a cheer. Gray's number one. Yes, he is. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people are confused about the motive. To me, it just seems, it's always been pretty similar, right? Probably some sort of a sexual motive, whether or not it culminated like that, and that's always been there. So catfishing is definitely related to that, and it's possible that there's even more sinister stuff, right? It's even more sinister than that. Now, I don't normally speculate way outside the box, and I'm not really sure if it's that it's way outside the box now, speculating that maybe something was filmed, taken to Las Vegas, sold, and therefore the Samsung phone being reset over there, maybe that was the motive. Transportation or something. I don't know. They say they found it in a cab, the phone, but I don't know. And the weird part is you learn all these crazy things that's actually a thing. Is snuff films of kids. I mean, how sick is that, man? A world that has that in it. Those people right there should be. If they're ever caught, something horrific should happen to them. You know what I hate about our death penalty? It's so peaceful. No, gay, I've seen him, man. He's good. Listen, they're not even awake. All right, so here's what we do. You gotta leave them alive, right? And there's got to be just a ton of suffering. I mean, the whole thing about our, the death penalty, and it's inhumane to make them suffer. Well, what was it when they were doing that to the kid? Could you imagine? I think there'd be a lot less murders if people realize that when they murder somebody and their execution day comes, it's going to be worse than what they did. They might think twice about that one. Instead, it's, oh shit, I got 20 years and I got to watch TV, sit around, I got appeal after appeal. Hell, I might even get, the laws will change in my state and I'll get the hell out of there. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really sick stuff going on out there. And I got to tell you, I'll actually admit that I think I was a little bit naive to the level. I mean, quite a bit naive, to be honest with you. I really never really looked that much into the child exploitation and all that stuff. But in the last year or so, it's really started to pop up quite a bit. I mean, to a point where you look at it and go, there are so many of these people out there. There are thousands and thousands and millions. I would say that in the United States there's probably 1 million sexual predator males on kids. I mean, there is just, it's hideous, And I think most of us had no idea. Go, no, that's not true, Gray. I study. Okay, great. Good for you. Okay, but I'm just saying, one of the people that sort of woke me up was PCI Predator Hunter, the channel out there. They do good work. The tactics they use are a little, I don't know. There's something that always bothers me about the Chris Hansen style shit like that. But what they're doing, though, is great. It's crazy that you have so many people that are being exposed, but just the sheer volume. I mean, look at these are just a group of people that create these fake accounts, go online, and get these 50-something-year-old people to want to meet up with a 13-year-old kid, and they show up. And they never have a problem for material. They have shows almost every single night, it seems like, with a new predator, and it's just in a small area, too. That's just wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, I guess. I'm just not really... There's something about it that... I don't like entrapment that much, but it is what it is. They thought that they were meeting. It's like the same thing with a terrorist. You get an FBI agent that's undercover, and they sell the fake bombs to a terrorist, and then they were going... Their mind is exactly the same as a terrorist, so... I guess if you look at it like that, it's pretty ethical, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. What's this one? Hey, listen. Paulette, if you're going to send me the link, send me the link. You sent me a screenshot of the channel. So I have to type in 57 characters? I mean, come on, Paulette. I mean, I appreciate you sending it, but she sent me Fishing in the Dark. And here, let me show you what I would have to type in, okay? Yeah, the channel URL doesn't mean shit. Look at this. Okay, UC1, Y, and it has to be, it's case sensitive too. Okay, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, what you do is you right click when you're on it, copy it, and then share it to an email and send it. I don't know, I think that's pretty funny, to be honest with you. Yeah. All right, so let's go back. I got a whole bunch of stuff tonight. You know what I want to listen to again is the Jerry Holman interview that was done in 2017. You know, he was running the show. You know, he was the coordinator of everything. He even went to the FBI for extra training and everything, and then came back. And I think that'd be interesting to listen to because he gives. I don't know how many people have this interview. They only showed this like 8-minute version on the news, but there was a 27-minute version out there, and I have it. You know, I copied it. And he talks about all kinds of different things. It gives you little hints of various elements, so it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I like him too. He's a cool dude. I think I've talked to him maybe probably 4 or 5 times, something like that. Yeah, you like that video from earlier? Yeah. So I was just sitting around thinking, you know, there's just so many things that I have in my head, but it sort of gets lost in the shuffle when I do the long shows sometimes. And so some of these times I just got to make a video and put it out and just, you know, it is what it is. I still got to do my shows, but yeah, it was weird. I just it was my second take. First I tried it. Well, did it again. I didn't say every word perfectly or anything like that. And this mic sometimes cuts out, so I had to like dub in a word. It was just stupid. Oh, thanks, Jen H. Yeah, you guys should go share that video because I think it's important for people to see that. Okay. All right, so now Delphi After Dark, he made this video. Okay, and he talks in it. We don't need to. You know, he just gives his own thoughts, but I'm not playing the thoughts. I just want to play the video. You can actually see. He gave me permission to play it. So right here's the start of the bridge, but see, there's these huge gaps, but this guy just flies across it. Of course, because he did that, he became a suspect in the case. To Joe the Fool. Okay, so here's the start of the bridge. It looks like they've done some paving out there, which is interesting that they paved it right to the bridge that nobody's supposed to go on, right? I mean, that's a little strange. It's a little strange. All right, so here's the start of the bridge. I think what I'm going to do is go over, I'm going to move. So we've already done, you've seen my video, so I'm going to move this stuff over. I think that's not. Okay, is this the whole thing? Okay, this has the actual time code, all right? So the whole video is something like, he gets down below the bottom and everything. Let me move this a little bit over. There we go. So we'll just go right to the start. I don't know if that dog was with him, though. I don't know where the dog went. I never saw it again. So here's the start of the bridge. And gonna have to do that again. There it is. Right there. And we are at 18 seconds into the video, okay? So I'm going to just have it playing on the screen. And it's pretty smooth because he's got image stabilization on a GoPro. Almost has a drone-like feel. So here we go. I'll just give you the play-by-play. But first, before we do that, I'll show you. Hell, where the hell am I right here? Just a second. Let me get to. This way, I'm trying to make it so nobody's confused at anything. Okay, so just picture it like this. The girls were here. They were given permission to go to the bridge, to go hiking or whatnot. They got taken there at about 1:25 by Kelsey. They drove around past the cemetery here. Then they pull up right into this sort of makeshift parking area. It's not really, it's not like, oh, there's a parking spot. It's just kind of dirt you pull in. And you get out right here, And then they walked to the Monon High Bridge Trail right here. There's a bench here. There's also a bench right there. I have video of that even. So hold on. I tried to get all this stuff together, but now I think it's going to be hard. I think it's this one. Okay, here we go. No, that's from the other side of the bridge. Hold on, not that one. That one. I don't know if that's it. 43 Market Cross. That's his. That's mine. Now maybe I don't have it in here. But there's a video that I have where the person is standing right here, and you can see this path. You can even see the bench over here and the bench over here because they kind of just turn around. Really clear stuff. So there's a bench there. Then the girls walk down, you know, probably saw the killer at some point after they got dropped off. They just thought he was some weirdo, creepy guy. Then they get to right here. You see this very start of the bridge there and this dirt path? Well, that currently is, that's right here. So I don't want anybody to be confused. Is anybody confused right now? Go to the 18-second mark. So there it is right there. Boom, just starting to move. Okay, and that first platform, you see right there, I mean, this guy's just booking. It's right there, past that one. Right there on the right. Now look at all these crazy railroad ties that are missing, but you just step over them and you just keep on going. I mean, this guy's really hauling ass here. And our friend Beth that shows up in here, she got across in 3 minutes and something herself. And this guy did it in 3:45, holding a, you know, he's got a camera and he had to duck under some trees. He even stopped twice, but that's how I get it to 3:45. So we're coming up to platform 2 right there. The girls apparently, they haven't taken any photos that they uploaded to Snapchat yet. So this is the one at platform 2. I showed you guys in the video the exact spots where the photographs were taken. So here's where he stopped and took 12 seconds here. So he could have just still been moving along here, but he didn't. So that's why I'm just subtracting out the 25 seconds. And you know, so right around in this area is where the first shot of the bridge was taken. And then they continue walking. This is platform 3 right here that Libby was standing on, and took a photograph back of Abby, who's still walking behind. But look how quick this is. This is real time too, because he's talking in here. So that's platform 3. Now it's way overgrown compared to how it used to be with these trees. And I'm not even sure that forked tree bundle is there anymore. It just made it look like a forked tree. But and here's 4, platform number 4 here. I don't think many people hang out on that one. That one looks like it's just about to fall in. I think this tree, one of these trees here, might have been part of what looked like the forked tree. I know that a couple of these were in here. This might even be it. It's just way bigger now. See how that's got the forked look? And then all of these trees as well made up that look. It's just grown for 5 years, so it's not the same. And then this is platform 5. This is the one that Cheyenne, who was there like at 3:15-ish, was standing on that and took some pictures of the bridge. That's the one that has the famous railroad spike in it. And then they continue across. He's continuing across. And right now we're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but he does pause again here. Yeah, he's curious what this pipe is down there. I wasn't curious at all. Mainly because that's not where they went. See, my thing is I don't get curious about things that, like when I'm looking at stuff and I know that we already know how things flow around it, I just go right by it, you know. Now you could go, well, you did that with the social media, Gray. Well, no, not really. They just told us it was something to go by. Okay, there's no reason. I feel like it was a total waste of time to be looking into social media angle when we're told that it has nothing to do with it. All right, so right now we're at 4:17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so let's see. Well, actually, so if it started out, yeah, it started off at 18 though. So that means it was only 4 minutes and 6 seconds or so. So you remove the 25 seconds that he stopped. Hey, thanks, LM. Yeah, that'd be nice, LM. So the 25 seconds you take off of that, and it's about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So he did it really quickly. And people that are confident, unlike Slow Joe, who accuses this guy of being the killer because he did it quick, they're able to get across quickly. Like Beth, you know, like if it's somebody like me who hates heights, right? I hate flying, I hate all that shit. I might be on there, you know, unless I just kind of you know, put it out of my mind or something like that. I might be a little bit slower, you know, like looking around, making sure I put my foot in the right spot at every step. But there's other people that are really used to it, and it doesn't bother them a bit, and they just go boom, right across. That's why Beth, who I guess Slow Joe would call the killer too, because she was able to get across in 3 minutes as well, 3 minutes and something. But no, it's just she's confident and coordinated. Hey, thanks, Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming, sub Crystal. The longest name in YouTube history. And also Charleston Amy, thank you. And Tina Susser, the Discord Queen, and Paul Ayers, thank you. And I don't know if Paulette, if you were able to resend that, I'd like to be able to unhide Fishing in the Dark. Thank you, Quietly Frozen. Quietly Frozen, the coolest name in YouTube history. You get it? Coolest name? Forget it. Alright, let's see. Oh, there she goes. Hey, you got it. See, you got it for me. Thank you. Let's see. Sometimes people get blocked accidentally in here. No, she's not blocked. So probably what it is she isn't signed in to Google. You know how when you're not actually signed in, you can still watch the video and everything, but you have to be signed in or you can't comment on a live stream. All right. So as you can see, they got across, let's see, Delphi After Dark got across the bridge in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Just boom, right across. So what I was doing on the show yesterday for people who I'm trying to show how far away the killer was perhaps when the video that Libby took was started. And I guess the way to do that is to realize that they said that the guys down the hill was near the end of the video, the 43-second video. So if we just take 5 seconds and just throw it in there, and then if you go back a few steps here, and I can just eyeball it because I know what it looks like. It's right here. Right in this area right here is when the killer was being filmed, what that we see. But he might have already been filmed, but he was just kind of in the background too far away and his face isn't clear, so they're not showing us that. Alright, so let me go to that again. Here's platform 6. Originally, almost everybody, including myself, thought that Libby was standing on platform 6 filming back, and things still made sense, the forked tree and everything, but there was these key elements that weren't there. The side rail that's damaged creates this little illusion of a little nodule that sticks up, but it's really just damaged railroad ties. And everybody, you can only see that if you're off the end of the bridge, and you're off the end of the bridge, and the camera's really low, filming from a low position. You can only see it. Yeah, so you're right here. Now let's see how long it takes to get from here to the end. So this is 4:08:28. So here's this guy. He's hustling. He's not really that far away, but it's not close either, right? I mean, he hustles and boom, he gets to the end. And that's at 4:24. So that's 16 seconds from the time that we see him on camera. 16 seconds, and right before this you said, hey guys, steps off. You can even hear the crunching of the gravel on the other side. And he says, guys, and then down the hill, they hear a click apparently. Law enforcement tells the family that the click they believe is a gun. Then then he probably forces Libby and Abby to go down the hill right there. But now we know, so let's take the 16 seconds. Tell me if this doesn't make any sense. So where he was originally filmed, it took 16 seconds to get to the end of the bridge. The guys down the hill is near the end of the bridge, the end of the video. So you take the 16, I'm adding 5 seconds just for like what's going on at the end of the bridge, who knows, right? So 16 plus 5 is 21. So that means we have to go back 22 seconds or so from where we first see him on the video to get the whole 43-second video. Does that make sense to you guys? It's a question. I need an answer. If you're confused, I'm going to keep talking about it. And it's okay to be confused. I want you to know what we're doing here. Alright, so it takes 16 seconds. I'm adding 5 seconds of a buffer. 21. So now I'm going to go back to the spot. Back here. I think it's right in this area. And we're at 4:08 here. So now we got to go back 22 seconds the other way, which would put us at 3 minutes and 40. Let's see. If it's 3:50, we'd be at 18, so 3:46. The other video, I'm using a different setup, but I have the right timing and everything. So I deleted some stuff and added some stills so it's longer. So this will be 3:46, and watch how far back this could be. I mean, it's crazy. Well, Gray, we don't know if he stopped and went to the bathroom or something. How do you know? Oh boy, this guy was on. He was on a mission. So look at how crazy that is right there. I mean, let me just zoom in. Look how nuts that is. So when Libby turns her camera on, the killer could have been in this position over here. That's if we extend it all the way out to 43. Maybe if we add 5 more seconds to the end and then move forward 5 seconds. So let's just for the hell of it, let's just make it 10 seconds at the end of the bridge instead of 5. That means we have to walk back 5 seconds this way, and we're at 3:46. So if you go to 3:51, That's where he would be. But either way, it's crazy how far back this person is from the end of the bridge, right? I mean, it's crazy. It's not even close. Like, they're off the end, and at this point, when the killer's here, Abby is probably still 30, 40, 50 feet onto the bridge. But he is walking way faster. So if you picture, let me go back to this shot right here. If you go back to this one, this shot right here was taken at 2:07. And just eyeballing it, that looks like it's roughly 40% of the way across the bridge. In fact, I mean, maybe if I just measured it, and I go to here, that is 322 feet, and the whole bridge is, I think it's 860 something. Yeah, like let's just say 860. So that's close to 40%. And that was at 2:07, and the video started at 2:13. So it took them 6 minutes to go only 60% of the bridge. And that's because I would think that Abby is really slow on the bridge because she'd never been there before. Libby been there many times. That's why she was always in front, kind of maybe encouraging. And so you can see this guy, in the time that it took them to get from here to here, the killer could have gone there and almost back, like only a minute difference of doing that. He did it in 3:45, and maybe a minute and a half. He would have gone like this, boom, and got all the way back in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. It took them 6 minutes to get from here to here. So this guy was making up tremendous time, probably really freaked him out. This guy was just, and they're over here. They probably see him in this area, and they're like, oh crap. And then Libby gets off. Come on, Abby, come on. And she's coming, and she's about right here when he's about right here. I'm going to move that. It's more like right there. When he's right there, Abby's probably still about right here, and then she's able to kind of just get across, gets behind Libby, and they're talking about stuff, hey, which way to go, and stuff like that. And then this guy comes by, says, hey, guys, and then pulls out the gun down the hill. All right, but it's just really freaky. I mean, look at this guy right here. Remember the video that I made, how fast I had that guy going? That was almost the 3D animation one. I mean, that one's pretty accurate. So let me put that one on the screen really quick. It's just a little bit off because Abby's actually behind Libby by the time the killer comes off the end of the bridge. I was updated on that. But after this, we're going to have a whole show on when you slide it off a bed and pull a book off. Okay? It's going to be really cool. It's going to be fun stuff. Just think about that for a minute. Unbelievable. Oh, I actually have it in the folder here. Hold on a second. That's not it. No. There it is. Okay. So this is a video that I made a long time ago. So I think if you move it further, that's the photograph. Remember, she's on platform 3 filming back. And if I move it, now look at there's a shot here that I did. Look at this. I think this is so accurate right here. I mean, I just now was thinking about it. I didn't watch this earlier, but watch. Look at this guy. He's back there. He's just, boom, he's coming. He's coming now. And she's trying to get off. And then near the end, it's like he's hauling ass here. Watch. See, this is slow-mo, that shot right there. Just like that one. But he's coming, and then she's already behind Libby, though, by the time he gets there. So that's a little odd. Isn't that crazy? I think that's exactly how it was. I think they were on the bridge. They're looking back, and this guy is just absolutely flying across compared to them. He got across the entire bridge in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's just say the guy was a little bit slower than Delphi After Dark and did it in 4 minutes, or 4:20. I mean, it's still really way faster than them. It's almost double their speed, and they're walking like this, and this person's just, just really hauling ass. And man, what a terrifying moment that was. But Libby was smart enough to turn on that camera and film the killer. It just, unfortunately, it didn't ID anyone. It just, man, it's unbelievable. Everybody out there has, oh, I know who that is. That's so and so. But every one of them says somebody else, but they're all so positive. It's amazing. Hey, it's Joshua from a long time ago. Yeah, Joshua, there's a lot of work to be done out there. There's a lot of lazy people. It's amazing. So at least it gives you, you're not going to be out of work, I can tell you that. All right. Yeah, well, Abby apparently says at one point, is that a gun? He's got a gun, like that. That was in a, okay, so I can't say that I heard it right from the person who saw the video, although I heard it from a friend of a person who saw the video, and they typed in exactly what they were told from the friend who saw the video. Their friend, right? So it was Anna, and she described it to somebody, and then that person typed in exactly what she was told, and that's one of the things that apparently Abby said. That something like, is that a gun? He's got a gun. I mean, that's creepy as hell right there, too. And then the whole thing is, and they were out there again, you guys, today on the Wabash River, still looking. I mean, they're really intensely looking. They're not goofing around out there, I can tell you that. So a lot of stuff going on right now. Yeah. Huh? Huh?
Huh?
Okay, so is anybody confused? Is there anything right about this whole crime scene that you want to know? And also what I was saying on the show, something I observed today, just randomly. They were made to go down the hill right here. I always think that this spot over here, let me try my little pop out. I can actually turn the, what do I do? Let's see, it was called, let me go to the middle monitor, and then I can put that out as a projector over here, and I can, let me see, I'm going to turn off all the pins, because I don't need them. There you go. And there's the end of the bridge right there. It actually allows you to see better. And drink every time I say actually, okay? You're going to all be wasted at the end of the show. So it's right here to here. They were made to go down the hill and then down another hill. And I think it's possible that let me open up this really quick. Try that again. Window projector. Man, it's weird how that doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's too bad. Well, you can just follow my mouse. Right down here, I think that maybe this might have been an area. Now, and then there was a shoe found over here. We don't know what that indicates. But could it be that they tried to make a run for it and her shoe came off? Libby's shoe. And then if you look right here, there's this really shallow area. And what I was using when I originally saw that area was, I think it was the 2012 area. Was it really that one? Yeah, it must have been. 2012 in February. There's even, looks like snow or something, maybe slightly frozen or something. I was looking at this and I could see this shallow, almost a bridge going across the creek. It's actually, oh man, I almost said the whole word. It's even a better view of the crime scene, the way it's laid out here. They were found right inside of here, but look at this shallow area. There's a steep cliff over here, but over here it goes down really low. You can see that on one of Julie Melvin's videos that she has out there. When she's panning across, it's really high over here, but then it gets low over here, and you can just walk like this and then go up here. And what's interesting about that is, let me turn that off. Wow, those are some crazy. Let me get rid of that. Is there another one? Okay. So it's shallow right there. And I'll move back to the April 2017. And here's the GPS coordinates that they put in the Ron Logan document. And I was wondering, because it always bugged me, because I know the crime scene is right here where their bodies were found. And I know that because I saw the crime scene tape and how it went around, and I marked exactly the areas that it was. And it wasn't over here. Now maybe there is maybe there was more tape set up somewhere. I don't really know. It would be odd to me if this was the place that they were actually, I'm using it in the correct time, where they were murdered, but then you would have extended the tape out there. So I guess I'm not really sure. But they do say in the Ron Logan document that they are moved and posed. So from here to the crime scene, it's really only something like 113 feet or so. Let me move this one up here. Yeah, so it's right here. It's not that far away, but it'd be quite a ways to drag somebody, but 35 yards or something really isn't a lot, you know? It's not a lot at all. Yeah, what is Case Cracked asking over and over again? Well, what's confusing? Well, let me see. Does no one in the chat know if it's known or not if the killer passed the girls coming? No. Nobody knows that for sure, but you heard me say it on the video from earlier today, right? Law enforcement doesn't believe that because they said that in this document right here. Let me just go through this again. That's the GPS coordinates right there. Or those are the GPS coordinates. At 5:30 p.m. apparently was the last successful ping of the cellular phone by AT&T. That's interesting, right? I mean, that's 2 hours after they were murdered. So you would think that the ping might have led to something, but I don't know. It didn't work. The development of this suspect was made by a 43-second video taken on Liberty German's phone, where the suspect follows the victims as they are walking on the Monon High Bridge Trail. And then the idiot that showed up in my comment section said, see, that's the Monon High Trail. The girls aren't, the girls never made it onto the bridge then, because they said that the video was taken on the Monon High Bridge Trail, and the bridge isn't part of the trail. Oh, wow. I mean, come on. You know, just use your brain a little bit here. You can see that they're on the bridge, right? I mean, can you believe that? That somebody said that? No, I never said that at all. I always, I'm an absolutely I always tell people, what are you talking about? That's ludicrous. Like, oh, the guy's over here. Then he passes them and then turns around. And why would he walk 70 feet away if he came past him? He would just walk, look, nobody's coming, turn around, and boom. He's not going to walk 70 feet away, right? In this document right here, let's just read the whole paragraph. A suspect has been developed of a white male wearing a blue jacket, a heavy physical build, wearing a cap and blue jeans. So they're actually thinking he's wearing a cap. The development of this suspect was made by a 43-second video taken on Liberty German's phone where the suspect follows the victims as they are walking. So you hear that? Follows the victims as they're walking on the Monon High Bridge Trail. Okay? So to me, I think that's just really clear that they're saying that they were followed all the way across to where this happened. Not, well, he was over here and then he passed him and then he turned around and then you aren't even going to think, oh, the person followed them if that's the scenario. That's not even going to cross your mind if they believe that at all. That they wouldn't even, they wouldn't say, oh, they followed her or the person followed her. Them. Jeez. I'm just trying to read the comments at the same time. Found some problem there. Huh? Yeah, he said he has the ability to do that. That he's strong enough to commit the crime. I think Kagan's stance on his dad has dramatically changed, and now it's probably even more so in the direction of, yeah, he did it. He did it. Okay, he did it. Now here's what happened. We threw the knife off the bridge over here. And we really did. Well, Kagan, if we don't find the knife, you're not getting the deal. No, seriously, I swear to God, so he's really adamant that whatever he's saying, I don't know if it's a knife, I don't know if it's some other element. Yeah, the phone was found near the body. So what else is confusing about this area to people? So you're down here, there's this really sort of back in the corner, that's what I always thought. Then they're either forced or they ran across the creek and he caught them over here and their bodies were moved and staged. Robert Ives says there's at least 2 or 3 signatures that he thinks are really unique elements. So that's interesting, Maybe the posing is a signature. And then likely the person came out through the cemetery and just walked down 300, maybe even cut back at a certain point, and then walked around, maybe went over the Freedom Bridge portion where it goes to another path that then goes right to the abandoned CPS building where they believe a vehicle was parked. I think the vehicle that was parked there, law enforcement, when they said, we'd like to know who the driver of the vehicle that was at the abandoned CPS building. That's what they said. Now you could say, well, Carter did. Well, they clarified it later, so I'm saying what they meant to say. It wasn't an abandoned vehicle. It was an abandoned CPS building. Really stupidly placed building that was, there never should have been built. An absolute waste of time to put it where they put it. So I think that they were sending a message to somebody to let them know that we already know what type of vehicle it is. And then once they put that out, I wonder if they had surveillance on the people they were interested in, maybe the Kleins, to see if they did something with their vehicle, being paranoid that law enforcement already knew what the vehicle was. Doesn't that sound like a reasonable bit of speculation there? Because it's such a weird request. We'd like to know who the driver of the vehicle that was parked there. We don't even want to know what the vehicle was. Hey, no, listen, everybody. Don't tell us what vehicle it was. We already know. We just want to know who the driver of that vehicle was. Hey, thanks LM for gifting a membership. And if you guys would like to help out the channel, I do this show 7 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day. Yep, I know. It's torture. It's abuse to you guys that I do this show every single night. But by God, I'm doing it anyways. yes, if you want to help out, there's Super Chats, PayPal, the channel memberships, and yes, part of it does help my channel. We also have a massive DNA fund built up, and we also send money to charity from the income from the channel. All right, so I did get an email, a message on Facebook from Misty Gillis. I think they're starting up a Daniel Armentrout fund. So I'm not sure, how that's going to work and whatnot, but that'd be pretty cool. It's for doing the same thing, so it's kind of odd. I mean, we're already building up our own funds to solve cases, but then we were going to donate to a fund that's doing the same thing. So I don't really know how that works for us, but let's see. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Yeah. That would be pretty cool, though, to have that. I mean, maybe we can just, as a channel, I'll donate money to it. And then it's sort of like we're helping something else out that we helped out. I don't know. I mean, I'll put a link if anybody else wants to send money to it. But it seems like, I don't know, kind of a weird predicament, sort of, I guess. Do you think KK or TK could walk that fast across the bridge? I think Tony might have been able to. I think that's why I say it could have been like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I mean, I don't know what grade of shape Rick is in. I mean, he's an older guy, right? He hustled right across there. Here comes Southside Bill again. Man, he hasn't been around for months. And he shows up to bust out his Southside theory yet again. That's ludicrous. He can't drop it. He's somebody that even if you had him on film would say it was a doctored film so he could keep saying that the killer came from the South Side. It's ridiculous. We don't have 43 seconds because it's not clear enough. He's too far away, Southside Bill, as I explained 55 times already today. They're just putting out the clearest, closest video that they've got. That's it. Yeah, you're Southside Bill. You're an absolute what do you call it? Tunnel vision person. You can never think differently about anything. It's always the same, over and over and over again. Let's see. They said that in the document it says they were followed across. They were followed by the person. Doesn't say across. Okay, you're not going to say, oh, he followed when they know that, oh, he just walked by and then turned around. That doesn't happen. They would explain the whole thing. The guy passed, and then he turned around. If what's true. Have you heard about the dispute between the park and Ron Logan yards? I guess for a while, they have been wanting to expand the area, and, well, I mean, who cares about that, though? American Girl reacts. Who gives a shit, I'm just saying, like, what does that mean? What if there was? What does it have to do with the Delphi murders? I'm just kidding. Let's see. No, no find of anything of the river. They cannot place. Oh, you don't know though, right, Steve? You don't know what they found or if they found anything or anything, right? Yeah. Expand the area and haven't been able to because Ron's house. Yeah, but let me ask you something. What does it matter if the house is up for sale or any of that stuff? I mean, I'm just curious. What does that mean? Nothing? Okay. See, here's the thing. I think a lot of people in the Delphi case get caught up on these little tiny, mundane, meaningless, little sort of sideshow, circus act narratives by people, and they need to know these little things that have nothing to do with a damn thing. Who cares about the Ron Logan house thing? I mean, can you explain why 2 girls were murdered because Ron Logan's... just doesn't make any sense. Oh, because they wanted him put in jail. I get it. They wanted to frame him for murder so they could buy the property. Well, don't you think they'd be in even more panic if they crossed up? They were. That's why they filmed Southside, but he was far away. They just weren't sure what the person was doing. But wouldn't they be even more panic if the person passed them right then and he turns around? They'd be like, oh my God, what's going on? Yeah. Your logic is so poor. That's sad, actually. I thought they were doing dive training. Ignore me if it's been... No, that's not what they're doing. Yeah. They're not doing dive training at all. Have you been watching any of the videos? They're literally going around with the metal detectors and trying to figure out where the metal is. Oh, you need to see my face? Jeez. Yeah. That's going to cost you a super chat there, Sack and Fox Nanny. Yeah, well, it does kind of make sense. He just didn't want to be home. He didn't want to get arrested when he came home. So he goes, man, I fucked up. I should have left. It's kind of weird, though, because it seems like it's more associated with his dad. No, because she wouldn't know until the last minute, Southside Bill. Again, really poor logic. And they're also kids. They're 13 and 14. They probably didn't know what was going down. They just weren't sure. But at the last minute, she turned on the phone. We also don't know when they actually noticed the person in reality. We do know that maybe for 43 seconds, maybe 60 seconds in, she noticed. So maybe a little bit further back, but yeah. She wouldn't know, like, oh my God, I'm calling 911, and it's some random guy that's just going across the bridge. Yeah. We'll see you later, LM. Are you getting irritated? Is that what the problem is? Yeah. That's funny. Hey, thanks, Lillian. Gotta put these in there. Guess not, Sacken. Sacken Fox Nanny. Man, I did what you requested. Big day tomorrow. Okay, see you later. And then gotta put these people in the freaks. There we go. One, and then there we go. Got it. No, because I'm not talking. I'm talking down to a person that says the same thing over and over and over. They don't even show up for months and months, and then they say the same thing again about the person coming on the southeast side, turning around, and all that crap. Okay, it gets really old because every single time there's always a rebuttal with the same tired argument. So unless you've been here the whole time, April, you wouldn't know. Okay, and I don't need your advice or any sort of your opinion. If you don't like the way I do the show, just don't watch. I'm not interested in what you have to say if you sound like that. Okay, if you have something to say about the case, I'll respond to it. But it's when you have the same people that say the same thing over and over and over, you know, and then when there's new information that rebukes what they said, they just keep saying the same thing. Like, for example, I was saying that there was no social media angle over and over and over. Then it got changed, and I went, oh, wow, okay, there was a social media angle, and I moved forward after that. You see? That's the difference. It's just when that's the, I mean, look at Southside Bill. I like Southside Bill, right? I mean, he comes on here, but, you know, look at his name, for God's sakes. He likes the rap at the end, okay? But I haven't seen him in months, so I don't know what, you know. Let's see. It wouldn't matter what the hell BG did. We know he murdered 2 girls. Yeah? Yeah, well, the thing is, the guy that you see on the screen, you know, on the video, is the killer, right? That's it. Now, they even say that. There's only one voice. It's by the same person, and it's the person that you see on the screen, and he is the killer. Now, that's what they've said multiple times. Is there another person that was waiting around somewhere? Yeah, maybe. Because I've already explained that 700 times, Southside Bill. This is what I'm talking about. See, Southside Bill just said, why do you think Libby's 43-second video ended with BG instead of starting with BG? Well, I've already explained it to you. They're only showing us the portion that is the clearest, it's the clearest version they got. The further out you got, even a smaller movement makes a massive shift in pixels and everything where the person's moving around too much. So they finally got a part where the camera is still enough where they were able to give us 2 seconds of clear video. The family's seen the whole thing, you know, all the way up until that portion. Anyways, wow. I mean, that's like the 9th time I've said that on the same show and in the same conversation. I don't know. I've shown a whole bunch of pictures of it doesn't matter. They're all the same. Right? Yeah, the one with his hand in his pocket. I think she only recorded BG because she was expecting Anthony shots. Right. I think she realized at a certain point, wow, I came here to meet the Anthony Shots person. There was that creepy guy that we saw. And then we went on the bridge, and now here he is. He's following us again. And then at the last minute, when she saw that he just kept coming, you know, she's probably nervous to call 911 about something that wasn't going to turn into anything. Yeah. I don't know. You didn't send it to me then, Zozo. Send it to me again. I'll take a look. Do we have enough voice samples from Keegan to... I don't know. It's not Keegan on the bridge. Okay. Keegan is a huge person, and he's never been small enough to be that person. Yeah, he might have been smaller at some point. Tony Klein looks pretty relaxed knowing all this stuff is going down at the river. Odd. His is still pumping around town with thoughts of his son possibly right. Yeah, I don't know. Have people seen him walking around? I mean, are you over there watching him, looking relaxed and? Yeah. I don't know, Lanky Tor. It's been a struggle. Unless some serial killer was there. Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that's still kind of perplexing is that there was a lot of people there that day, a lot of different kids. But when Abby and Libby got there, there wasn't a soul. Now, is that just luck, or did the killer catfish many different kids and have a whole bunch of different girls and whatnot come out there And then he finally found a straggler set of girls that came out that he was able to, they got themselves into a situation where they were trapped. Because prior to that, he probably had, no luck. He was sitting around, oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that. I believe that if the girls had gone down the 505 trail, he would have killed them down there. He would have came down here. Some people say maybe the meeting spot was on the other side of the bridge. I don't know. That just sounds like really wild sort of speculation. They took so long to get across the bridge. And would they have gone all the way across if there was some weirdo over there? I don't think it's possible at all. Yeah, let's see. I think people just want it to be something a little bit weirder to try to... Let's see. Yeah. Would the witness that helped with the sketch be able to identify? Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah, I mean, it always originally felt like a crime of opportunity, but maybe he created his own opportunities by having a number of people show up at maybe various times, or, we don't really know. Or it was just pure luck that window opened up. Seems hard to imagine, though. I don't think it's... I always thought it was a serial killer-like person. Maybe they hadn't killed the requisite number of people. A serial killer is, 3 different people unrelated to the other 3. Like if somebody went out and killed 3 people that were all together as friends, that doesn't count as a serial killer. Now, it wasn't 8 a.m. Nobody said it was 8 a.m. Let's see. I mean, that's when the call was made. They got there at 1:37. They weren't, because I already know the answer to that, Southside Bill. I've talked to Robert Ives. We figured out exactly where they were. It's technically figured out 100%. We have exactly where she was standing off the end of the bridge, just at the end of the bridge, and Abby got behind her, and then they moved back a little bit as the killer was coming and he stepped off the end of the bridge. But the shot of the killer on the bridge is literally Libby standing at the end of the bridge with the camera down low. Okay, it's 100%. So I even with Robert Ives, I asked him, and he goes, assume Libby is off the end of the bridge. And we have the exact angle and shot. Okay? I mean, I've already gone over that too before with you here. I'm wondering why it's still being brought up again. I wonder if the crime scene strongly indicates about it. Maybe. Yeah, that's because at the time, Southside... yeah, that's almost a timeout type of idiot response right there. Well, Robert Ives is the same guy who said catfishing was unlikely. Well, he's seen the video, for God's sake. The catfishing thing was the FBI said, nope, we couldn't find the connection. So if you want to know, the person who asked me, Gray, why do you sound like that? Well, listen to that. Look at that crap right there. That's why I sound the way I sound sometimes. It's unreal, you know. What a ridiculous comeback on something like that.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh man, unbelievable. All right, so let's go. Let's just watch the Jerry Holman interview over here. Just listen to it. Now that there's a whole new scenario going on, let's see if any of this ties in to what's going on now. with the Kagan Klein and so forth. All right, here we go.
On CSI shows that
A lot of interesting elements in there.
So tell me, obviously you guys, we see this posted all over online. People want to know how you have all this evidence in this case and still 6 months later, no suspect in custody. What would your answer be to the community?
well, it's not like on TV. You see on CSI shows that they solve them in 2 commercial breaks. So it takes a lot of time, and we want to be very thorough. So we want to take our time, make sure our I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Well, this is a tough case. There's, I think, alleged a lot of evidence, but really we have very little evidence in this case, and we're working with what we have. We're getting a ton of tips, which helps, but some of those tips are misleading.
Good night, Charleston Amy. Thank you for the PayPal.
Disarray and get us unfocused from where we're headed. So, but I think it's not from lack of effort. We continue to use all the detectives from state, federal, and local agencies, and we use all the resources that are available, and we're going to continue to do that. We're not going to leave. It's not a cold case because we're still getting information. So we're going to continue to work as hard as we can on this.
To have, and you say you've little evidence, which, I'm not a detective, I don't work with the police, but, when you hear, you have the guy's voice, you have that sketch, you've got, possible other audio and video.
Can you guys hear this?
And then maybe the reward money. Is
Here, I'll
that
turn
more
it up
than
a little
people usually?
I can tell it's kind of quiet. Hold on.
Have in a case like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think I said we don't have a lot, but we have more than enough to make a case. But we're just not getting that break yet. We're still getting closer every day. We're eliminating. We're getting a lot of tips on people that didn't do it, and we eliminate those daily. So it's like I've said before, it's the needle in the haystack.
Yeah, I've seen that image. That's a really old shot of him, Zozo. That's like when he was young.
And we get those tips on so-and-so, and we eliminate them by however we do that, and that just takes another piece of the hay out of the way so we can start focusing, and eventually it's gonna be there. So we keep working, but and I think a lot of people are misled by some of the Facebook postings and social media is not as helpful as some people might think. So
You hear that? Yeah. Slow Joe, do you hear that one? Yeah.
the Facebook postings and social media is not as helpful as some people might think. So.
So 6 months ago, you got the phone call, and I know you've talked about this before.
Hey, Terry, just
who
figure
called
stuff
you and
out,
said
okay?
first, Abby
It's
Williams
just, you
and,
get really
Baby
complain.
German missing?
I think I heard it on the radio actually, and then I called the sheriff to see if they needed assistance, and he said, yeah, we're probably going to need some help. That was when they were missing, and then of course we got our helicopter involved, and we were still in the search phase. And then obviously once we located him and knew it was a double homicide, then we called in other resources throughout the state police and then the FBI, and I know we've had just a ton of resources and people volunteered to help, which is good. So that's how that started, and now we're here. We're still working. We're still motivated, and a lot of people. It is stressful. It's a very stressful case, obviously, and it's very easy to get emotionally tied. But I think everybody involved is still doing well. We're still motivated. We're still optimistic that we're going to catch this person that's responsible for this.
Oh my God! Everybody says that. He looks nothing like the drawing over there. Okay, but people want to see. They always want to see something. Ooh, look! He looks like the guy. He doesn't look anything like that person back there. Nothing about it similar. He's got bushy eyebrows. His ears are different. His hair is different. He doesn't even have, he's not wearing a hat. He's got, his chin's different. His nose is a different shape. But besides that, he's a freaking clone. Okay.
And we're not letting up or giving in or anything like that. We're stronger than ever. We're actually getting more people involved. So I think, the time's coming. We're getting closer every day. I know that's cliche, but we're eliminating people, and we're working harder than ever. So.
Yeah. And within the first 48 hours of that case, so here you
Hey,
are,
thanks,
hearing on the
Romeo's
radio,
heart.
you step in, which,
Appreciate it.
thank God,
Thought the
really,
button
that
was
you guys
broken again.
stepped in so quickly, because look how it ended up happening. I mean, first it comes out 2 missing girls. You think 2 missing girls in this small town, who would have thought this was ever going to be the case? But what was the investigative work that happened in the first 48 hours, without obviously going into too much detail to put the case in jeopardy?
Well, I think you secure the scene, you start doing area canvass, talk to everybody in the area. We have the crime scene investigators there. Just basic steps that you would do, collecting video throughout the areas, doing things like that, and just
Thanks,
you know,
Jody.
from ground zero. That's what you would do in any case. You know, start talking to people. You can get out, knocking on doors. We call that an area canvass. So because it's a rural area, we had to kind of stretch that out a little bit, and so we did maybe a general area canvass initially, and then maybe a day or two later we spread that out, come back, make sure, because it was February, so there were still people at vacation or winter snowbirds they call them, and so there were still some houses that we didn't make contact right away. So, but we have now. I mean, we continue to do that, and now 6 months later, we're
Betty.
still getting new tips on people, so we're following up on those. But we have a group of detectives that are assigned to go back and make sure we didn't miss anything, review things, and so we're taking it very serious, and we're not going to let anything slip through the cracks. That's our, I think your biggest fear when you're doing an investigation is something might slip through the cracks, and we're not going to let that happen. We have a team of people that keep going back, reviewing, and we're getting there. Like I said, we're working harder than ever, and we're going to continue to work hard.
When did the people come forward that mentioned, because that sketch behind you, it's pretty detailed, like we said, and the guy who did it, and obviously unbelievably talented, because he maybe didn't have a bunch of information, but it's unbelievable what they can come up with, right, and make it into this composite sketch that could end up helping crack the case. But when did those people come forward that said they saw him possibly near the trail?
Well, that's a good question. It's actually compiled. It's not just from one person. So we've had several people say that they saw the person that we identified through the video that we obtained off of Liberty's phone, and we put that out. So once people saw that photo, then they said, "Oh, I saw that guy. I saw that guy." Well, we have to determine, is that the guy they saw first of all, and if it is, then let's work together. So we were getting calls.
I went over to get a Coke out of the refrigerator, but and my glasses are blurry because I tried to clean them, but what he just said right there answered the question. I was looking for that in this video, but I thought it was at the end. He says that they got the video off of Libby's phone. Did everybody hear that? Okay, it wasn't out in the cloud or anything like that. I knew that he said that in here, but I couldn't find it before the show. So listen to it again.
Composite sketch that could end up helping crack the case. But when did those people come forward that said they saw him possibly near the trail?
Well, that's a good question. It's actually compiled. It's not just from one person. So we've had several people say that they saw the person that we identified through the video that we obtained off of Liberty's phone.
The video that they obtained off of Liberty's phone. Could it be more clear than that? The video that they obtained off of Liberty's phone, but it was actually in the cloud. They're just saying it was, no, it's not. Okay, he's saying it right here. So when you're out there, everybody, and you hear people say, "Hey, was it on the cloud?" Immediately stop them and say, "No." Jerry Holman said that the video was taken right off the phone. That is the answer, and it's always been the answer, and it seems really obvious too. Like. When you got this killer coming, did you really have time to sit there and have it go up onto the cloud? Yeah, I know you said that earlier, Jody. Thank you. Appreciate it. He does a different kind of show. He just critiques stuff. He doesn't do I was just looking at it. It looks like he's sort of exposes. He should do one on Slow Joe is what he should do. That guy is. But I don't know if he's a Delphi person that much. So he doesn't know. I don't think he knows the case well enough to be able to listen to somebody like Slow Joe and just go, "Oh my God, what a load of crap." But anyways.
And we put that out. So once people saw that photo, then they said, "Oh, I saw that guy. I saw that guy."
But I'm glad you showed up.
guy. Well, we have to determine, is that the guy they saw, first of all? And if it is, then
Slow Joe is the same guy that was Shattered Mirror, a complete idiot. Okay, so.
let's work together. So,
But anyways, you guys all heard it. I want you guys to all remember that you heard right here in his comment. That's why he's got a lot of stuff he says in here that if people had heard this would have had them more knowledgeable about the case a long time ago. So he says that the video came from the phone. Absolutely on the phone. It's not in the cloud. Like, I think it was actually even Anna that might have said it to somebody somewhere. That, maybe it was on the cloud and everybody ran with that. But that isn't the reality. They found the phone and they retrieved the video off of Liberty's phone and were able to, create what we see right now. The 2-second video, the still shots. They've got audio, they've got the whole thing. One thing I do wonder about is when they say 43-second video, is that just them saying that's the usable portion? Because maybe the phone, let's say the phone was put in Libby's pocket after 43 seconds. And now it's just filming blackness, however, there's still audio. Is it possible that they're just saying 43-second video because that's when the video, there's no more video or any visual context anymore? And then maybe there's audio that continues on while the phone's filming the blackness of a pocket or something. I don't know if that's how they would do it or not. It's something that I guess is a possibility, but maybe not, Maybe there really was just 43 seconds and it ended right then.
we were getting calls that night and throughout the last couple months. Some people don't watch the news. Some people don't really follow, what's going on. So some of them were sooner than later. But then we took our time with that. We took our time. We interviewed. The composite drawing itself took probably a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Well, it should be.
We wanted to make sure.
It should be a lot more than 70%. How much trouble do I get if I choose to be petty Patty? Screw it. Too bad old Greeno's in the slammer. He would have all the answers to our questions. Sarcasm. Good job, Gray. I like you 70% of the time. It should be 100%, okay? Because I don't do that kind of garbage. I know I can be an ass sometimes. Who cares, right? Just get over it. I mean, I get trolled more than anybody in the history of the world. And I feel like, there's days where it's really stressful. And if I say something to you like, that's dumb, and then you go cry like it's some horrible, then you probably shouldn't even be anywhere around social media if that makes you feel awful. Just, do something else. You got to be able to handle something when somebody goes, God, that's just not that doesn't make any sense. See, what I like is when I say something and somebody rebuts me with something more plausible than what I said. What good does it do when somebody if I said, well, it looks like, let's say, I don't know, let's just say that they find the phone next to where Libby's body was found, right? And I say, well, it looks like she probably had it on her and then it got knocked out and it was on the ground somewhere. And then somebody goes, well, isn't it also possible a rabbit picked up her phone on the other side and swam across the river and then maybe had a scent and found her and then dropped the phone there? And then I'll say, well, that's ludicrous, like that doesn't even, I guess it's technically possible that the rabbit picked the phone up and swam across the river, but why are we talking about that? So that's what happens a lot, and people don't like it. But for me, unless you can elevate forward with a better theory, a more plausible scenario, like Southside Bill tries to do, but never seems to work, you just go with what's more likely. Occam's razor, right? Doesn't that make more sense? Yeah.
It was exactly right as the people that recalled that. So we have been, I think, getting better tips. Obviously, the first photo is pretty hard to see. It's
I am unhappy with 70%.
Pretty bad. And this is pretty detailed. And we want to make sure people know this might not look exactly like the person, but it's going to have this similar facial features. So this is just what the person or persons that we've interviewed over the last several months believe this is what this guy looked like. So, I mean, there's 4 of us in this room right now. If somebody walked in this room for 30 seconds and he left, we'd all have different drawings. But I think the facial features and the major identifiers we would all get right. So that's what we're hoping, that this gives us a little more guidance, a little more not as vague. So, and it's helping. We are getting better tips. We're still getting some not so good tips, I would say, but we're getting a little better tips from this composite drawing.
Is it a few people kind of that possibly saw him? I mean, was there like more than a couple that called in, right?
Yeah, I would say that is a good statement. There's more than a few that said they saw him. Now, like I said, we have to determine there was other people on that trail. Are they actually seeing the guy that is responsible for this, or are they seeing somebody else that was out there walking?
In time frame wise, I mean, how long do you think he was out there that day? I mean, had he just kind of stopped by, tried to find, if he was planning this, tried to find somebody that was walking off the trail and thought, hey, this would be a good target, or was he just out there for a little bit?
I wish I could tell you that. I have theories, but the evidence is pretty, like I said, the evidence doesn't really indicate how long or if he was a traveler or local, and some of that we just speculate on. We can't really say he is or isn't, but we just have to go off the evidence that we have, the composite drawing, the video, the audio, and just continue to rely on the community. I still believe somebody knows. Somebody knows what happened. For whatever reason, they won't come forward, and we wish they would, obviously, because this person's probably going to do this again. And I'd hate for that to happen to you or your loved ones. And that's the message I want to get out to the public, is if you do know, for sure you need to let us know so we can possibly stop this from happening again to your daughter or your mother or sister or anybody. Could be brother or father as well. So.
And the personality traits of a person.
I think I'm going to rewind a little bit because I couldn't hear part of this over here. Hold on.
Or are they seeing somebody else that was out there walking?
In time frame wise, I mean, how long do you think he was out there that day? I mean, had he just kind of stopped by, tried to find, if he was planning this, tried to find somebody that was walking off the trail and thought, hey, this would be a good target, or was he just out there for a little bit?
I wish I could tell you that.
Yeah.
I have theories, but the evidence is pretty, like I said, the evidence doesn't really indicate how long or if he was a traveler or local, and some of that we just speculate on. We can't really say he is or isn't, but we just have to go off the evidence that we have, the composite drawing, the video, the audio.
No, we don't know anything about it, Zozo. It's just
and just continue
a Wi-Fi
to rely
connection
on the community. I still believe somebody knows. Somebody knows what happened. For whatever reason, they won't come forward, and we wish they would, obviously.
I think he was just chatting.
Because this person's probably going to do this again. And I'd hate for that to happen to you or your loved ones, and that's the message I want to get out to the public, is if you do know,
wow, I like talking
for
right
sure
there.
You need to let us know so we can possibly stop this from happening again to your daughter or your mother or sister or anybody. Could be brother or father as well. So.
And the personality traits of a person like this, and that's, I think, what people have thought about before. I mean, for him, if there was just one person, and this is the guy, he was able to get both of these little girls in the woods and do these, brutally murder them. Do you think he possibly have done this before?
You could be. I mean, this is kind of our theory or speculation. We have no evidence that he's done it again there. But we do keep that in mind. We do check with other states to see if they have anything close, and obviously the case in Iowa is probably the closest, but they don't
see,
even
he does
know
mention
the cause of death
Laken
in that
Elezabeth.
one, because they didn't find the victims until later, so it's hard to compare.
They have communicated with them.
But it is similar, but so we take that into consideration as well, and we have investigated that. We've been in contact with Iowa, and they've been in contact with us, and we've discussed that, but nothing else seems to be popping up around the nation there that is similar to this, but doesn't mean he's going to
And this video is from 2017 in October.
kill everybody the same way every time, so we don't know.
when you walked down and I walked through, you know, that was private property, right, where the bodies were found, looking at logistically from, you know, where they were on the bridge and then to where their bodies were found. I know we talked about the terrain in the past. I mean, it's not an easy thing to navigate. Usually you might have to be familiar with the area. I mean, would it have been difficult for the girls to travel from where they were on the bridge to where they were found?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be difficult. Obviously, they have to go through some pretty steep terrain and wooded area, sticker bushes and things like that. So it's, and then to cross the creek, I mean, obviously is February is probably not the warmest. It was a warm day that day, but still the water temperature is probably cooler than the air temperature. So yeah, it would have been difficult for, I mean, I don't think anybody would say, hey, let's, on a walk, would walk that way. So.
Walking back that way, I mean, and I wasn't even there when you guys found all these horrible things, probably at the crime scene, but even just walking through that area, you get like an eerie feeling, and you kind of almost feel sick to your stomach because you think about what Abby and Libby went through, what their families are going through, and the fact that, you know, he's still out there. When you had to go to the crime scene like that, I mean, you covered, I'm sure, dozens of murder cases, but this has probably been one of the hardest for you, having kids as well. I mean, did you get a sick feeling as soon as you had to go over there?
Oh yeah, I think everybody, obviously when two young girls are brutally murdered,
what a nightmare,
and you're there to investigate it and see what you have to see and do what you have to do.
I mean, that would be an absolute nightmare. I mean, just, even though I've seen so many crime scenes, you know, images and so forth over the years, and you're sort of get a little bit, I don't know if the word numb to it, but man, I can't imagine seeing kids that are just, you know, murdered the way they were murdered. Just man, and they were all these people had to go look, and it's probably, you see it on their faces. And I think that's why they worked so hard for so long. Is you know, they remember what they saw, and it keeps fueling the flames of the investigation.
You become emotionally tied to it, and you think about your family and friends, and but I think what keeps me going is I try. I've said this a million times. You try to put yourself in these families' shoes, and you just can't do it. I can't imagine what they're going through. So I try to put my emotions aside and focus on the evidence and focus on how can we bring justice for Abby and Libby and for the families. I mean, is that going to do it if we make an arrest? I think it will help. I don't think anything can ever bring them back, obviously. I don't think anything can ever make them the things like they were before February 13th. It's never going to happen. But we want to try to bring some closure to the families for the girls. And so even though we're all trained professionals and we've done this many a times, it's still hard. It's still hard to shut your brain off at night and go visit with your grandkids or visit with your family and not think about it constantly.
I don't see an Amanda Johnson in here. Again, there's a lot of these people I can't see. It's weird.
So it's difficult, but you know, we're here for a reason. We're here to find out who did this, and that's what we have to keep telling ourselves and keep being motivated to do that, and that's what we're going to do.
That area where the bodies were found too, when we went down there, because you guys kept that crime tape up for a while. I mean, you were still going back down there, right, and retracing the steps and looking for anything that, you know, you might have needed to go back, you know, to the scene to check out. So when you went back down there, so that area that was taped off, that area was where the bodies were found then, right? That circular, that taped off place.
Yes.
That's where, when we walked down, obviously all the investigative work had been done and they had taped.
I mean, that's kind of, you know, it's cool to say and everything. I don't agree with that at all, though, Nicole. Yeah. You know, some people have reasons they don't say something. Maybe they're scared too. You know, nobody's, you know, they probably don't feel like they're protecting somebody. They're probably scared of them for themselves. The people I care about are the ones that do the killing, you know. Like, it's always neat and sort of makes people feel good to think that way, but, you know, you don't know, you'd have to be in the shoes of the person who's not saying something that knows to see why they're not saying it. Right? I mean, that's the reality of it. The people I care about punishing are the ones that are the barbarians. You know, like, I'm not mad at, like, I'm not somebody that's out there trying to crucify Brian Laundrie's parents, they're not the ones that killed somebody. They're probably trying to protect their son, and maybe you wouldn't do that. I would hope I wouldn't do that either if you knew what the answer was. But they're not the barbarian. So let's care about the barbarians. They're not just as guilty as you said up there. That doesn't even make any sense,
Taken away, any evidence been found? Was there a decent amount of evidence found at the scene?
Well, I think so. I think, without getting into detail, I think, like I said, we don't have a lot of evidence, but we do have more than, maybe your normal crime scene. We have the evidence there that we're processing and daily and working on. And
now, what I do say, though, this is something I do say, is, for example, if you have a crime where, the freaks that are here all the time know exactly what I'm going to say. If you have a crime where somebody's dismembered, or like a party where somebody passes out and they die, and the people at the party, the person goes, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do," and then their thought is, "I'm going to chop them up into little bits, put them in bags, and toss it around the city because I panicked." I think somebody like that should be in prison for decades, because if you have the ability to, hack somebody up even after they die like that, man, there's something else going on in there. That's different, right? Even though they're not the ones that killed the person. You get what I'm saying? I also think, this is also something that I think, if you're somebody who commits attempted first-degree murder, death penalty should be off the table if you didn't kill the person, but you should get the maximum, you should get life in prison without parole if the person didn't die. You know why? Because you are exactly the same as another person. You just got lucky that they lived. You plotted it out. You planned it. You went over there and you shot the guy right in the face or something. Oh, and they just miraculously live. Oh, so you get out in 15. No way, man. You have the same mind as the person who wasn't lucky like you, and they died, okay? But you take the death penalty off the table because there's no death, right? Oh, I don't know if he's ever watched. Who knows?
still, it's been 6 months, but there's different techniques that you can use and things like that. So I'm not a lab person, so I can't, talk in lab language, but I'm in contact with them weekly, if not daily, and they're telling us, we're still doing this, we're still working on things. So, but yeah, we're.
We had 640 in here until I said what I just said. They're like, "What do you mean?"
It's hard to say without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation how much evidence we had, or because there's 3 people, in my opinion, maybe more, but at least 3 people that knew what happened that
Do you hear that? At least 3. That means there's another
day. 2 of them are dead. So that one.
Yeah, so 3 people knew what happened that day. 2 aren't alive. He said dead. Thanks, Freebird Forever. Appreciate it. I'll put you in the. We got a whole bunch. I'm gonna probably do like a mug and a couple notebooks or something. It's like I'm putting everybody from last night's still in there.
One person knows the details of the crime. That's why we don't like to talk about the details and what we found, what we didn't find, because when we do get that person and we do talk to them, they're the only ones that are going to know the details of this. And that's another reason why we don't like Facebook putting false information out, because then people believe that, and then they tip off of those details that are false, and it just kind of impedes our investigation a little bit. So,
Was DNA evidence found at the scene?
Well, yeah, obviously that's
See, there you go. Look at was DNA evidence found at the scene? Well, yeah, but
the tricky question nobody wants to answer. But
see, this guy right here, Jerry Holman, he met with Paul Holes at CrimeCon in, I think, the 2018 CrimeCon, the year before I went the first time. The problem is, this is what, the inside guy, whether he's accurate or not, he's been accurate on basically everything he's ever told me, all the way up until even saying that there's another sketch. He told me all this stuff way before, it's just, and he knows somebody, he's related to somebody that absolutely knows So I think the stuff that he says is really accurate. And he said that they did find DNA, but they were shocked at how little, and it was just sort of touch DNA off the shoulder of a shirt. And that could be anything, man. You could have a guy fly in from, Istanbul into the Indiana airport, drive to Delphi, touch a doorknob, get a hamburger, and then Libby goes into the McDonald's, touches the same doorknob, and then brushes a spider off of her shoulder, and boom, the DNA from the guy from Istanbul is on her shirt. I mean, it's crazy, right? So, hey, thanks, Freebird Forever. Very kind, very kind. Just a second, let me put that in there. And she said, I love my freak family. Well, that's so kind. I mean, the thing is, everybody does. The freaks that are here a long time and have been here for a long time. Thank you. Everybody loves everybody. I mean, we all check up on each other, and there's people that I email to see how they're doing, and if they're not feeling well. And so, I mean, it's just everybody does it though. I'm sure. I don't know. It's just kind of a cool situation, isn't it? I mean, it's really neat. So, anyways, it's a freak family. You know what I like the most is like you're on another channel somewhere and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, you guys should go over and with the freaks on Grant Hughes' show." It's like you guys are known, the freaks. It's awesome. It's almost like the movie. What was the name of that one? Warriors. We're the freaks, and then maybe there's another one over there. The roller skate guys with the bats, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think at every crime scene you have, you're going to have DNA. You're going to have the victim's DNA. You're going to probably have victims' families' DNA. Touch DNA is very powerful. So if I touch your shirt today, that DNA could still be there for weeks, if not months. So we're still working on identifying whose all DNA we have there, and we will continue to do that until we determine who all's DNA is at the scene.
So if this guy, thinks he possibly got away with this, and that's one of the things too, I know that you guys are waiting, possibly, he could start talking about it to people, because that's happened in other cases. They think, oh, I got away with it, and then they start trying to brag about it, which is something you guys are following up on every day. But if he thinks he got away with it and thinks he cleaned up the scene, there still could possibly be something that he left behind.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
That's powerful, though, for the community to know, too, because
Right.
they're like, that's, like I know you mentioned, that's a question that nobody really wanted to get too much into when we talked to the sheriff and things, but you mentioned any DNA, DNA's from the girls, DNA's at the scene just from other things. But that's important that you guys are running that through and working with the lab. And then, is there anything that happened within that first 48 hours when you stepped in, too? Like, you volunteered immediately to have Indiana State Police come in and help out the sheriff's department. Is there anything you think that could have been done differently?
I want to say thanks to Amanda, too, sent me like I don't know what you call it, but on Facebook, Facebook something, money, or what do you call that on Facebook? Anyway, so thank you.
That could have put the case in jeopardy in those, in the beginning stages?
Absolutely. I think, when you Monday morning quarterback, there's things you could have possibly done a little better, a little quicker. Now, is there anything we did or didn't do that jeopardized this case? No. I think that with the FBI and the county and the state.
So after this, he went all the way over to like Quantico and took a bunch of training classes.
All the resources that we've used, there's really nothing that we could have done more. But, I'm my own worst critic, so are there things we could have done better? Yeah, absolutely, and that's every case. But we continue to learn from that, and again, like I said, we didn't do anything or not do anything.
Hey, I can't see this Amanda Johnson person, so can somebody message me their channel? I'm getting kind of sick of having people commenting where I can't see them. It's really weird. So send me the channel of that person. And then also, if you're Amanda Johnson, make sure to unblock me. Like, go to your channel and unblock me. It's really bizarre that I'm actually the channel owner and I can't see some comments that come in. It's really wild. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. So just message me her channel so I can unblock it. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Could have possibly done a little better, a little quicker now. Is there anything we did or didn't do that jeopardizes?
Oh, look at that. Could have done a little quicker.
Absolutely. I think, when you Monday morning quarterback, there's things you could have possibly done a little better, a little quicker now. Is there anything we did or didn't do that jeopardized this case? No. I think that with the FBI and the county and the state and all the resources that we've used, there's really nothing that we could have done more. But, I'm my own worst critic, so are there things we could have done better? Yeah, absolutely, and that's every case. But we continue to learn from that, and again, like I said, we didn't do anything or not do anything to jeopardize the case, but are there things that we could do better? Yeah. So, as Jay Harper with the State Police lead investigator, we have Tim Kendall also with the State Police lead investigator, and then my job is to kind of manage this. So I've been trying to manage this from day one with the county, with the FBI. So that's an obstacle in itself, trying to manage something this big. But we've had plenty of guidance from all of our supervisors and such a great team. I mean, we obviously have gotten along with Carroll County pretty well. And unfortunately, through other incidents, this happened because life doesn't stop. So unfortunately, we still get major crime scenes that we have to assist with here. And manpower issues, I mean, we all have them. The county shorthanded, the state police shorthanded, FBI, everybody needs more. So if you're out there, apply for the state police next time. We definitely need help.
Yeah, need some new recruits. Tell me, with the audio, which we heard, I remember the first time that was played at that press.
I don't know, I think Amanda has a lot of people blocked. Probably even blocked me at one point. Sounds like a name from the blocking days. So, I can't see her. I didn't have her blocked. I just checked. So, she has me blocked, but it's showing up in here, and somehow I can't see. That's really weird, isn't it? Well, it's great that you saw her comment. I can't, and so can't other people.
Conference, and that was, bone chilling to know that you're going to be able to hear this person's voice, even though it was just that tiny clip. But what he was saying gave away, some clues as well. But what has that been able to do for the case?
So, well, now I see her because I put her as a approved user. Now she just showed up finally. That's interesting. So that actually worked for her, but it didn't work for the glare. So. I see her now because I added her as an approved user and then removed her as one, and now she's showing up. That's pretty bizarre because you weren't blocked. That's pretty wild. I wonder how that works like that. YouTube, do better. Yeah.
Having that voice out there.
Well, I think it's helped a lot. Obviously, it's a distinctive voice. We've been getting a lot of tips off of that. Unfortunately, the people that people think it is, we've been able to eliminate them. Not all of them, but most of them we can eliminate through checking records and things like that. So, but I think it's helped quite a bit. And I think as we get into this deeper, it's going to help us even more. So,
is there more audio that was found on Libby's phone?
Yes.
Is that something that would be released?
Not at this point. We've discussed it, and at this point,
Yeah, so now it's talking about will they release more audio. They did, though, after.
Checking records and things like that. So, but I think it's helped quite a bit. And I think as we get into this deeper, it's going to help us even more. So,
is there more audio that was found on Libby's phone?
Yes.
So there is more audio. Isn't it amazing? Like, most people haven't even seen this video right here. This guy answers more stuff in this video than, it dispels 90% of rumors and crap that people have out there. Yes, they had more audio. And we already know that, though, because we know that Libby and Abby are talking about just regular stuff and then where to go and all that kind of thing. And, you know, they actually wanted to talk to the family to see if they could figure out what they were saying in the background there.
Is that something that would be released?
Not at this point. We've discussed it, and at this point, we don't think it'll help the investigation at this time. It doesn't.
So 2 years later, though, we got to hear the magical, guys. Oh, it's going to solve the case. Guys. 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 Couldn't we, I mean, a little bit more, maybe? Is there anything else? I mean, that's incredible. It's like, yes, there's more audio. Well, after 3 years, we're going to release you something. Dun 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 dun! Guys. Down the hill. There you go. Boom. Hey, we still had we already had the down the hill. So after 3 years, the curtain breaks open and we hear, guys. Wow.
Appear to be anything more than some discussions between the girls and things
See that? No more than discussions between the girls and things like that.
So, and we've only released a portion of it. There's some others that we think could help us, but again,
I made Jen
protecting
H.
the integrity
laugh.
of the investigation is the key here. So we can't release everything we have because there's only certain people that know the details. And if we release everything, then we get into possible false confessions and people over exaggerating and embellishing information and put it on Facebook like we already battle with. So we can only give so much.
Facebook thing, I know that's been a huge, that's had a huge effect too on the family. I mean, and that's like, you know, probably a few years ago, if this case would have happened, or like, you know, a decade ago, that wouldn't even have been a thing. Has that interfered with the case?
Here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, Slow Joe, let me just play this. This is he's talking right to you, okay?
That's had a huge effect.
And all you wacko Facebook people, but you're all the same. The wacko Facebook groups that have these crazy threads that allow people to talk. And over and over and over and over. We don't need to keep saying that over and over again, Mocha. We you know, it's just getting kind of old. All right. So, anyways, you got these crazy threads on Facebook over and over and over and over and over and over again, and people just speculate on the most wildest, craziest shit, and then people get really excited, and then they call the ISP and go, "Hey, did you get this one? Did you get this one?"
On the family. I mean, and that's like, you know, probably a few years ago, if this case would have happened, or like, you know, a decade ago, that wouldn't even have been a thing. Has that interfered with the case?
We've already gone over that 4,000 times, Ozo. The Robert Ives just explained to me that the first photograph was made from basically entirely from the video itself. Then the second one was created from a witness, and that was the first one made, but that was the second one released. Yeah.
Absolutely. I talked to some of the old investigators. They didn't have to deal with that. When I talk about some of the stresses of social media, I mean, I've had tip on me from interviewing with other stations. You know, absolutely. We've had tips on other police officers for whatever reason. We've had people that do their blogs that put out false information, and then if I tell them that's false, and then they embellish and
we don't know the answer.
Tell people that I'm giving out details of the case, which we're not.
Anyways, let me rewind it because I keep getting interrupted. Let me go back to here.
Obviously, it's a distinctive voice. We've been getting a lot of tips off of that. Unfortunately, the people that people think it is, we've been able to eliminate them. Not all of them, but most of them we can eliminate through checking records and things like that. So. But I think it's helped quite a bit, you know, and I think as we get into this deeper, it's going to help us even more. So,
is there more audio that was found on Libby's phone?
Yes.
Is that something that would be released?
Not at this point. We've discussed it, and at this point, we don't think it'll help the investigation at this time. It doesn't appear to be anything more than some discussions between the girls and things like that. So, and we've only released a portion of it. There's some others that we think could help us, but again, protecting the integrity of the investigation is the key here. So we can't release everything we have because there's only certain people that know the details. And if we release everything, then we get into possible false confessions and people over exaggerating and embellishing the information and put it on Facebook like we already battle with. So we can only give so much.
Yeah, so you guys on your Facebook and everybody, you're hindering the investigation. You're not helping in any way, shape, or form with your crazy, nonsensical bull crap that ultimately seems to lead to people accusing the family members and all these other people out there that are absolutely innocent. Remember the grill guy by that one wacko YouTuber who kept talking about this guy that was grilling a hot dog? I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous, and it still goes on today. Hey, Gray, what do you think of my POI? Well, you don't have a POI, idiot, because you're not a police officer. You have somebody that you're just accusing of something. You put his face right next to the sketch and go, ooh, 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 look at this, look at. I mean, it just absolutely drives me freaking nuts. Okay, that's all I can tell you. And here's the thing, everybody. I have gotten probably 500 different images of my POI next to a sketch image. And yeah, you know, you look at it and go, you know what? By God, that guy does kind of look like the sketch a little bit. And all 500 of them, the guy kind of looks like the sketch. But you know what? The one thing that's really strange about it is none of the 500 people look like each other at all. Doesn't that make you just wonder? Is the sketch just kind of sort of generic where people want it to look like, they want him to look like the guy that they think it is? But none of the actual human beings look like each other whatsoever. Don't you find that strange? You should, okay? You should.
Facebook thing, I know that's been a huge, that's had a huge effect too on the family.
Here's my
I mean,
POI,
like,
God.
You know,
I can't stand that
a
when
few
people
years
say
ago,
that.
if this case
You don't have a
happened,
person
like,
of
you know,
interest.
a decade ago, that wouldn't even have been a thing. Has that interfered with the case?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to some of the older investigators. They didn't have to deal with that.
There we go. Let's get that part in there again.
Facebook thing, I know that's been a huge, that's had a huge effect too on the family. I mean, and that's like, you know,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
a
You
few
hear that,
years
Slow
ago,
Joe?
if this case would have happened, or like,
Huge
you know,
effect
a decade
on the
ago, that wouldn't
family.
even have been a thing. Has
You're an
that
embarrassment.
interfered with the case?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to some of the older investigators. They didn't have to deal with that. When I talk about some of the stresses of social media, I mean, I've had tip on me from interviewing with other stations. Absolutely. We've had tips on other police officers for whatever reason. We've had people that do their blogs that put out false information, and then if I tell them that's false, and then they embellish and tell people that I'm giving out details of the case, which we're not. I will try to squash any rumors that people call and ask about.
Yeah, see, I'll actually text and message. Let me just see. I'm not going to say what I said or anything, but let me just see if... my phone's dead. That sucks. But anyways, I'll just say something like, hey, this is what somebody's saying. And he goes, they're all lunatics. None of that's true. You know, stuff like that. Like, they're all idiots. They're idiots. That's why I love the guy. He's awesome. See, he just tells you the truth. He's a little bit like a Grady Judd light. You know, when you send him a text message and go, look what this guy's saying here, he'll just send back, don't believe anything those guys say. Don't believe anything on social media. Now they go, well, you're part of social media, Gray. Well, that's true, but some of us are different than the other people. Do you ever wonder about that? Like why some of them actually talk to us because we're not like the other ones, you know? Yeah.
Without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation. But yeah, then, you know, I can't imagine what the family's going through just because of the incident. But now you have social media with all these rumors and false implications that just got to be driving them crazy. And I talk to the family quite a bit and try to tell them, you know, don't believe everything you hear on social media. I think it could be positive, but what I would say is instead of posting on Facebook, call us.
I didn't time anybody out.
before and let us investigate it, because once you put it out there and it is false, then it interferes with our investigation and it bogs us down, because then people start tipping off of false information and we follow up on every tip. So I think social media is a challenge for us.
I think you probably got accidentally timed out. That happens a lot, actually. People have a cell phone and they look at something, because all you said was, there's some other audio that can help them. Wonder what it is. Right? Is that what he said? I missed that part if he said that. But yeah, then you got timed out. Maybe it was after that. Let me go check really quick. We're doing some sleuthing on Steph. She seemed really concerned. Oh yeah, well, you mentioned the idiot YouTuber's name. Okay, but that's not a reason to have you timed out. They just removed the channel. And then we've got anything else? I don't really see anything else that would... I think it's just an accident. Okay, but why does everybody keep saying another YouTuber's name in here all the time? Like, I mean, I get that, like, the glare is in here and I can't see him. But it's like, you know, I'm trying to do a show here, right? You get what I'm saying? I can't see his comments. I don't want you to... I don't need you to relay the comments or anything. We're trying to figure out the comments. Try to figure out what's going on here. I think it's on... I think it's... Well, it's weird because he can see my comments on his show, but I can't see his comment on my show, and he's not blocked over here. So I don't know. I've done everything that I can possibly try to do. I don't know. I think what might be the problem is I told him, but he didn't send it to me, is I need his non-vanity channel URL, which I think could be something that I blocked like 4 years ago. And now he has a vanity URL, and I need the actual URL that's the letters and numbers and shit, not the name of the person, okay, for the channel. So when he sends me that, then I'll be able to experiment one more time and see if that resolves the issue. If not, I don't have any other answers. Okay, great.
Us, and we're trying to utilize it to the best of our abilities, but it is definitely something that interferes with our investigations at times.
How often do you listen to the audio clip? I mean, you probably listen to the full one, but is that something that kind of gives you, when you're feeling down, or
almost feels like it, Blake.
6 months later, we have all these people working the case. You've put, like, your whole life has pretty much been consumed by this. So, I mean, when you try to listen to that guy's voice again and look at that picture, does that kind of give you more momentum to be like, I'm going to find you?
I think every time I close my eyes, I hear the audio and I see the picture. I don't have to listen to it because I have listened to it a million.
Yeah, so here's the audio and the picture. So there must be a little bit more on the audio if it's something you're going to really remember like that.
Times. But yeah, it definitely.
See, it's interesting in this area. They start asking him questions that he's not really comfortable with. You can see the look on his face, and he's trying to get the hell out of there, and basically it sort of just ends at the end. It's kind of funny.
Remotivates us to think about that. So yeah, it's there.
Do you think he thinks he got away with it?
Oh yeah, I think probably, but he didn't. We'll catch him. I mean, we're like I said, it's not from lack of effort, and we will continue to put all the effort that we have available and utilize all the resources that we have until we catch the monster that's responsible for this.
Well, his posture here isn't uncomfortable. It's just you see his look later. He looks like he's just totally relaxed here. It's later on at the end. It's purely in his face. Okay.
This is something that I wanted to ask about the audio clip. You mentioned that there's discussions and things like that. Can you say if the recording was going when the murder happened?
I would say I can't divulge that just to protect the integrity of the
So he couldn't answer whether or not the video was still going when the murders took place.
Investigation.
I think he knows. Obviously he knows the answer.
Resources. You said you've never seen so many resources.
What was weird is right there. It's almost like his mind wandered, like he was picturing it again.
Can you say if the recording was going when the murder happened?
I would say I can't divulge that just to protect the integrity of the
Now watch right here. Look at he looks down. Look at how you just kind of watch the
investigation.
Resources, you said you've never
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like his mind went to remembering that shit again.
seen so many resources, FBI, ATF, local, state, federal authorities all coming in. I mean, you had all those people coming from Quantico and try to help with the behavioral analysis, and that was also interesting in the beginning. Did that help? Did that bring you guys maybe to a stage where you think you kind of know more about this guy?
Well, I think so. The FBI's brought their behavioral analysis unit to give us more information. We utilize social media, people just, looking at social media. Like I said, it's bad.
So he is mentioning social media here, like people are looking at it and so forth.
But we can also
That's what led to the Kagan-Klein original investigation.
gather a lot of information about people from the social media. Our digital media recovery specialist that would get all the information off of computers for us. And
Oh, interesting. So I don't even remember that part because it was irrelevant the last time I listened to this, because social media wasn't part of it.
so
They couldn't make any links, even though they were doing this. So the problem is the Kagan-Klein thing got sort of pushed aside, and other than that, they couldn't find any connections. It was only during the reset that they went back and looked through and probably went, holy shit, how did we miss this?
phones and it's just a ton of resources that we were able to utilize through state, local, and federal.
Was her cell phone, I mean, are you surprised he didn't try to take the cell phone or take any of the evidence with him?
Was I surprised
That he didn't try to take it? I mean, you would think that if that had, maybe he didn't know that they were recording, but
Yeah.
I think you'd leave that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing surprises me anymore after doing this job for a while, but who knows what he was thinking or what he knew. We don't know that. So
But it was all pretty, like,
No,
you didn't have to go
Terry,
like searching
no.
through the woods. All that stuff was kind of left in that
They're two
area,
different
right?
people.
that's a fair statement. The general area.
They're father and son.
Then going to tips, you've had thousands of tips, thousands
Let me go
of
back to this. I missed this part.
Job for a while, but who knows what he was thinking or what he knew. We don't know that. So
But it was all pretty, like, you didn't have to go like searching through the woods. All that stuff was kind of left in that area, right?
that's a fair statement.
Yeah, see that? So he admitted that the stuff that they found was all just kind of like right in the area. The phone. So the phone was found near them. All that stuff. So he gave a lot of information in this. Not, like really crazy, oh my God, he gave away the hints of the crime scene. It's really stuff that would take away some of the speculation that everybody does. Yeah, by the way, hit the like button for God's sakes. There's 600 people in here. Let's get going here. Hit the like button, 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 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, hit the like button, like button, like button, like button, 10, 20, 25, 35, hit the like button, hit the like button. We're going to keep doing it till we get up to 400. Here we go. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 75, 80, 90, 100, 100. I know the trolls aren't going to hit it, but you got to hit it to keep on going. Come on, trolls, you got it. Come on, trolls, you got it. Come on, trolls. Come on, trolls. It takes no effort to hit the like button, like button, like button, like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, the like button, 20, 25, do I hear 20, do I hear 20, how about 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You want to put 30, sir, 25, you're out. You guys gotta click on it a hell of a lot quicker than that, trolls. Here we go. Hit the like button, hit the like button, 20, 20, 10, 10, 25, 40, 45, 50, 55, 50, yeah, that's right, everybody. Hit that like button. Let me ask you something. Are you trolls asleep right now? Okay, let's try it again. Now that you're awake, hit the damn like button right now. 10, 20, 25, 30, 25, 40, 45, 50, hit that like button. 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, hey, 5, 4, 15, 20, 25, 30, sir, 25, you're out. 25, 30, 30, now 5, 30. What a bunch of losers, man.
General area.
Then going to tips, you've had thousands of tips, thousands of dollars in reward money. How many people have you guys interviewed?
Well, I would say probably thousands of people. It depends on what you consider an interview. A lot of people may say that's a little smaller, but we did area canvas, so we interviewed probably 600 people that were driving through the area. We stopped, talked to them. We've contacted numerous people to talk to them, and I would consider those interviews. So as far as formal, if you're audio, video recording somebody, is that a formal interview? Probably 400 or 500-ish.
Wow.
But that we have talked to
400 or
thousands of
500
people
formal interviews. Wow.
on this case.
The last thing.
Thousands of people.
Do you think
Amazing.
that he was from Delphi?
I really don't know. I think for obvious reasons, I think he had to know the area. Was he from here, visiting, or been here? I mean, I don't know. But you mentioned earlier the terrain and that area that this incident occurred. For somebody just to go out there and be able to do what he did and leave.
What site is that, Time Sync? Trying to get people to hit the freaking like button. It's free. You just hit the damn button. You're sitting here watching my show, listening to all the information coming in, and you can't even just respect it enough to hit the freaking like button. Was that a sign that you don't like? If you don't like it, don't be here, man. I really don't give a shit. I got to be honest with you. If you want to be here and you want to sub to my channel, that's awesome. Okay, but I'm not going to change and try to be, what a great comment. What a great, I can already tell you're going to struggle here, Time Sync, with your reply back. I can tell. All right, here we go.
You would think you either got real lucky and walked the right way.
Yeah, if you've already hit it, I'm not telling you to hit it again. You don't even need to tell me that you hit it again. What I'm saying is, we were at 300, there was 600 people watching. You would think 100 of them might actually hit the freaking button because we've done a 3-hour show here, putting out information that you don't really get to see in other places because they just don't give a damn. They want to talk about absolute garbage, okay? So you're listening to this interview here that very few people ever get to listen to because they don't have it. And it's interesting. We just went over a whole, all of the different information about the crime scene. And you actually have the information now. So I'm just goofing around when I'm playing the auctioneer. We've been doing that for years on here. And if that's something that's bothersome, well, that's just too damn bad because it's never going to leave, just like this one isn't going to.
It's a house!
Or this one.
Huh?
Or this one.
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Or this one.
Did you hear what I said?
Or this one.
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Which is referring to all those people who couldn't hit the button. Here's another one.
That's just one step above stupid.
Exactly. And we got the break music. Oh yeah, everybody! And this one. The Love Boat, everybody. Come join the Love Boat with Captain Steubing, Gopher, Isaac, Julie, and the Zany Doctor. He's absolutely hilarious. And don't forget to watch Fantasy Island. After that's over, you'll absolutely love it. Fantastic. All right. Anyways, here we go. Let's finish this up. This is where you get some more interesting stuff at the end.
Been here. I mean, I don't know, but you mentioned earlier the terrain and that area that this incident occurred. For somebody just to go out there and be able to do what he did and leave, you would think he either got real lucky and walked the right way to get out with nobody seeing him, or drove or flew, or who knows how he left the scene, or he knew the area. So,
Was the weapon left at the scene?
I don't want to answer that at this time.
So was the weapon left at the scene? He doesn't want to answer that. So that would be something only the killer would know, and I don't think so. That would be really, you'd probably already have an arrest made, unless the person wore gloves or something.
Anything else you want to add? I already asked you pretty much everything.
He's like trying to rock and roll, get the hell out of there. He's, but he's really polite. So the cameraman asks him.
That's it.
I got one question.
Sure.
For the image to be captured on the phone, was there prior video of the girls together before that, or do you think they filmed?
See, this is interesting. He said, Libby filmed the suspect, But was there other video on the phone?
Danger from this person is that's why she recorded that clip of him.
Both. There were pictures and they went out there to take pictures on them.
So let me rewind that a little bit. It's pretty interesting.
On the phone. Was there prior video of the girls together before that, or do you think?
So was there prior video of the girls before that together? Hey, I see you now finally. Isn't that him? Or that's not him, is it? Okay, there you go. That's not him. Okay. That's actually the idiot that always does the troll accounts and everything. Let's see. All right, you got it? Okay, good. All right, here we go. So it was like, was there video that they filmed before and audio and stuff? So just listen to it one more time. Here's the last question. Here we go.
On the phone. Was there prior video of the girls together before that, or do you think they felt danger from this person is that's why she recorded that clip of him?
Both. There were pictures and they went out there to take pictures on the bridge, and there was pictures and video, but it appears.
See, look at pictures and video. I think he's talking about another video. See, what's interesting is on that phone, at some point, the family is going to get some really cherished photos, but they're keeping them now because they're part of a criminal investigation. But there's probably some photographs out there that they took of each other, probably selfies, hey, you know, smiley shots, and all kind. Obviously, none of that led to identifying anybody, but they probably took a bunch of photographs together. They were hanging out. They were having fun. There might be some other little videos that they shot of each other as they're walking across, or even on that original trail. It took them 30 minutes to get from the parking lot to the bridge, so there's probably other videos over there that was filmed, and those are all on that phone, and at some point the family might even get to see them, you know, have those videos. Now it might be a little bit sad knowing that, oh, those are the same images and photos taken on the day that they were killed, but they might be in some way positive if they look really happy and they were having fun together. But then you would immediately think of the tragedy that came after, so I'm not really sure. What do you guys think about that? Would you want those photos? I mean, just, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering, you know, like if they were happy and they were looking like they were still having friends together. I think that'd be pretty amazing if there was enough of them to make like some sort of collage afterwards. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Yeah, some people are saying no. Should I do a poll on that one? Let's see. Let me do a poll. Okay. Would you want the images and video? I'm gonna put happy, you know, because you wouldn't want to have like a one that they're already freaking out. But would you want images and video happy on that day? So you guys know what I'm asking. It's hard to word it. So here we go. There we go. There's the poll. Let's see. So now you can answer anonymously and not feel the wrath of the morally superior. All right. Second. I think I would want him too. You know, I think I'd want him. I'd feel it'd always be kind of a weird thing to look at, though, right? Because you'd look at him, and you would always think, look how happy they are, and then some monster killed him just moments later. So that's the part that I'm questioning whether would I want that burden on myself in a situation like that. Yeah, it's like tremendously bittersweet. Yeah, I mean, that's almost like whatever the maximum bitter there is, and, you know, that's where you go on that. What's at the top? I don't know how you don't see the poll. It's right there. Jesus, how many times are you going to type in the same name over and 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 over again? Jesus. I think we got an invasion going on here. If it were a picture, maybe not the crime scene or area. Oh, that really was him? Oh, do I have to go up and unblock that? Well, how do you know that was really him? I mean, because that's what the troll types in, shit like that, you know? And who cares anyways? I mean, it's like we're spending way too much time on this aspect, you know? Like way too much. This is getting to where it's not even. Let's see. I don't know. So do we need to unhide that one? I don't know. It's hard to say. When somebody says it's my alt account, that's what a troll would say too. So you would trust it. Anyways, it just is what it is. Okay. So anyways, let's go back to this question again.
Prior video of the girls together before that, or do you think they felt
Thank you,
dangerous
Papa,
to this person,
Q.
that's why she recorded that clip of him?
Both. There were pictures and they went out there to take pictures on the bridge, and there was pictures and video, but it appears that, and this has been said before, that Liberty had enough senses to realize that something wasn't right, and she started that video because she felt uncomfortable. Both girls were uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it was just kind of near the end. She turns it on, you know, and it's like, whoa, just in case. You know, probably didn't think of calling 911 because you would feel weird if the person wasn't a bad person.
And I think that's why. But they were out there taking pictures with the phone and videos. So
Is the clip like several minutes long?
I don't know exactly how long it is, but
See that little cough there? He's like, can you wrap this sucker up now? That's a little uncomfortable. You know, that's exactly what that is, right?
Clip like several minutes long?
I don't know exactly how long it is, but
Okay. Did she shut it off, or was it?
Did she shut off the phone? Is what the next question was. She just kept. And she was. I thought she was a good reporter because she was asking deeper questions that a lot of people wouldn't ask, and he did answer some of them.
I don't want to talk about how that right now. Right, yeah.
Okay.
I see that face. Right, yeah.
Sorry.
Can we get the hell out of here? Yeah, it's like, man, that was great at the end there. But, yeah, so that last part was a little bit telling, too. Like, he doesn't want to say how the phone got turned off or anything like that. Yeah, Sarita, everybody just keeps typing. I mean, this is probably the best advertising bonanza the guy's ever had. You know, like it's just amazing. I just want to have do my show in here. You know, it's bizarre. I can't see the person. I don't want to have these relays going back and forth over and over and over. Oh my God, I gotta get out of here. All right, so thank you guys for being here tonight. That's gonna do it. You know? Yeah, I don't know if that's you or not, so I can't tell. Let's see. What your thought on the killer didn't take the phone of them? Did they ditch it before they were confronted, or maybe as they were being... Well, they said they found it kind of near where they were. I think she had it concealed, and the person's not really going to take it, though, right? The person's not going to take the phone. I know what you're saying. I don't know it's you, though, okay? So I'd rather block this account and try to figure out in the future the other one, okay? Because anybody can say what you're saying. Oh, it's me. You know, how the hell am I supposed to know that? I told you the other real person to send me their non-vanity YouTube channel, and it was never sent. So, you know, there's that. What's your thoughts on why the killer didn't take the phone of them? Well, because why would you take the phone? It would keep tracking them. Right? It would just keep tracking them. Yeah, I do believe that. He didn't know that. She had it hidden down low. I've heard people describe how it was shown. She had it down low and then sort of put it next to her, and it kind of it went dark. You could only see the ground. She had it really low, you know, and I don't think he realized it. You know, he may have and just didn't care, but, you know, I don't think that's how it went. He doesn't seem to be, he didn't seem to be aware that he was filmed on a phone. Or he may have spent time trying to delete the video or something. But that didn't happen. But yeah, the video's down low, right down by her knee or something, and then it gets hidden. Yeah. Anyone confused about the Kleins would be... What does that even mean, Dandelion? That sentence doesn't really work well. Yeah. Yeah, we went all over the whole thing. Yeah. No, criminals aren't the brightest. Yep, you got it. Yeah, that was the 34-page one. So right here it just says near latitude, but they did later say that was the spot. The development of the suspect was made by a 43-second video. Near the end of the video, the suspect speaks to the victim saying down the hill. It sounds as though he's directing the victims to leave the trail they were on and enter the wooded area below. So they basically, their narrative here is exactly what we've been saying since the beginning. Well, what do you mean changed? I've always thought the same thing about it, Zozo. You know, it doesn't change the way you know, we knew that he knew, you know, knows, you know, like, you know, when you listen to him speak, it sounds like he was always connected to his dad. I don't know if we know for certain that he's aware of, if his dad is the killer, we're not really certain if he is absolutely aware. However, if Kagan is the one who directed the police to look in the Wabash River off the bridge there, then he obviously is aware of where how the phone, you know, the moment that the phone got put into the river, right? He didn't just ask his dad, where'd you put the phone? Oh, I was going over this bridge and I tossed it in the water. That doesn't make any sense. So he might have been there at the time. Was he the one driving? Yeah. I don't even know what you're really asking, though, Zozo. It's kind of hard to decipher that one. It says, going over the transcripts again, did it change the way you think about what Keegan Kline was saying, knowing he probably knows what happened? No. You could tell the entire time he was talking, he was being deceptive and he was trying to fish for how much information the police have. And in those interrogations, we actually found out that Kagan was completely, you know, like his phone is the one that contacted Libby over the weekend. He even admits to being that person, saying, oh, she was annoying. You remember that? So he admits to that part. And then there's contact at 8 in the morning on the day of the murders. And so you put all that together and it's like, well, man, he must have some sort of knowledge of some sort. But it seems like the police are really focused on Tony Klein based on all of their questions. They even brought up one of Tony Klein's stories in the 194-page document about how he attacked his stepson, bashed his head into a toilet, then being sexually aroused by that, bit his wife's stomach, you know. So that's a little strange. There's no reason, nobody bites somebody's stomach after bashing a kid's brains out on a toilet, okay? That's probably the first time in history that's ever happened. Let's see. And then another time, he took his stepdaughter and had her run. He did it a few different times. Okay, try to get away. And then he chased after her. And then one time she broke her legs because she was trying to get away from him and chasing. So that makes me wonder, is there a possibility that in the Delphi case that the girls were down there, and if it is Tony, did he have a moment like, okay, take off, and then he's filming? I mean, look how crazy this shit is. What if he's like, I mean, it's just really weird, you know. A terror moment that he gets aroused by. So he's chasing these girls, and then he chases them across the stream and kills them over there. See, that's the part that I actually think that there's a possibility, if it is Tony, that is something that happened there. Because we've always wondered, did the girls make a run for it? Well, what if it was him saying, make a run for it? Wouldn't that be crazy? I think that'd be absolutely nuts if that is what happened there. And I think, if I'm just saying, if it is him, then that is definitely on the table because he has a history of doing that. He also, you know, was following girls home, reached through a window with a stick, lifted up a girl's shirt at one time. There was, on the 194-page document, there was a friend of Kagan, who's a girl that Kagan knew and knew exactly where she lived, knew everything about her. But then there was a message from the Anthony Schatz account to that girl saying, hey, can I get your address and everything? And then a guy shows up in a mask at the house. So why would Kagan have needed the address? He wouldn't have. So who else would have done that? Well, maybe Tony, right? Hey, thanks, Tammy on the Run. Huh? Let's see. I don't even know what you mean by MO's match. Do you know the case very well, or I'm not sure what that even means here. Whose MOs? What case? I can't picture him being that fast. He looks like, well, I know, but he you know, but I don't know how big the Rick guy is. You know, he's a little older seeming like. He looks like he might be in his late 40s or 50s or something. And he got across there in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So, you know, it doesn't matter what you think somebody looks like and you can't picture them doing. You know, we don't know what, you know, the situation was 5 years ago or anything like that. Let's see. Yeah, so this is Tony Klein here. Oh, you mean, you're talking about the MO between what Tony Klein has done and what happened at the crime scene. Well, we don't really know because a lot of that stuff was years ago. So I guess the MO is that, and he did stalk a young girl because she was supposed to testify against him or something, and he got charges for that. So he has all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you gotta broaden your crime horizons out there. There isn't just the Summer Wells case and those few different ones. There's way more interesting cases out there, tons of them. As a matter of fact, there's some that nobody even talks about that are way more interesting than most cases that anybody talks about. I mean, we've talked about a few here lately from 1976 and. God, what was the other one? They're just nuts. You know? Absolutely crazy. Let's see. Big guys have the short sprint speed. Come on. What would law enforcement need for this to go to trial against? Probably whatever they're looking for in the river there. So I think whatever they're looking for in the river, if they get that item, they're going to do something with that. I think that's the item Kagan needs to produce to get his deal, which will also lead to maybe charges filed against somebody. Yeah, well, I think that's good. There needs to be somebody that does that, Claire. There definitely needs to be somebody that does that. Okay? You might want to look into Slow Joe. That guy, so that's one of the problems that you don't know about the Delphi case, because I think he would piss you off more than any of the other people that you've been covering. I mean, he puts out stuff that is disgusting, irresponsible, inaccurate, false, and works and gins up all these idiots that believe what he's saying. Okay? And that part is, it's mind-boggling. So I think you would love that. Yeah, I can't say his name. Joe is part of it, but I call him Slow Joe. And I actually debunked the hell out of him because he, you can go watch the video on my channel. He took the movie Time to Kill. So this is real, everybody. So all you Slow Joe fans out there, he did this piece. We can just call it a piece. I would put shit at the end. But he did this piece of shit video on the Delphi case where he took the closing argument in the movie Time to Kill. All right? He took the closing argument, which is great, by Matthew McConaughey, talking about close your eyes and picture this. And he took almost complete paragraphs from it. And he read it, and he had this emotional flow to it, which matched exactly what was in the movie. And he didn't give any credit to Time to Kill. He didn't mention it until I put out the video, because he didn't think there was a soul that would have put that shit together. But as soon as I heard him say, close your eyes, I went, wow, that sounds like Time to Kill. I figured it out in 30 seconds. So I made this video on it, and now he tells people go, hey, that was really great rendition. He goes, thank you, yeah. Oh, bullshit. Yeah, he didn't have any intention at all to give any recognition to Time to Kill. It's not even mentioned. He might have slipped it in there in the last week or so. There was no mention whatsoever in the description or anything. There was not even a mention on the video. Like, I was inspired, how I feel right here, by the movie A Time to Kill by Matthew McConaughey's speech, and then do it. And I think people would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool. But he didn't do that. He imitated the emotional elements too, where he cried at these particular points, which absolutely showed that he was trying to trick his viewers into making him seem like this really caring person and had these extraordinary emotions. And it was totally bogus, okay? Totally bogus. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I almost feel like I should play it here. How long was it? It wasn't that long, was it? Yeah, let's do it. Screw it. God, I'm so sick of this shit. It's unreal every single day. So here we go. This is Slow Joe, all right? Where is this thing? I think you'll just love it. It's fantastic. Watch how disturbing this shit is, okay? So here it is. A Time to Kill by Con Man Slow Joe, all right?
I'm going to ask you all to close your eyes while I tell you this story. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to yourselves.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Close your eyes, please.
I'm going to ask you to please close your eyes. It's important you close your eyes
Grays.
and that you look into your mind's eye while I tell you the story. So I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to yourselves. So go ahead. Close your eyes, please, folks. Trust me.
Trust me. Oh, trust me after you're going to lie the shit out of them. The next
The
10
eyes of the law are human eyes, yours and mine. And until we can see each other as equals, justice is never going to be even-handed. It will only be a reflection of our own prejudices. So until that day, we have a duty under God to seek the truth.
To seek the truth? Yeah,
Not
it is
with
sick.
our minds, where fear and hate turn commonality into prejudice, but with our hearts. But we don't know better.
Look at these comments
This
under
is a
that
story
video. You're such a
about
beautiful
two little
human.
girls
Oh, never have I seen it.
walking along the Moon on High Bridge one sunny afternoon.
See, look at that. This is a story about two little girls walking along the moon. Let me rewind that. Just listen to this. Listen to how ridiculous this is.
Along the Moon on High Bridge one sunny afternoon.
This is a story about a little girl walking home from the grocery store one sunny afternoon.
Can you believe that shit, you guys? Seriously.
I want you to picture these two little girls enjoying the day,
Thank you for being
the unseasonably warm
great
day
man.
on that February the 13th of 2017. He proceeds to rip off their clothes and he savagely mutilates their bodies, shattering everything innocent and pure with each vicious thrust of his blade. And when he or they are done, after they killed their tiny bodies, murdered any chance for them to live and to bear children, to have life beyond their own, they begin to place coins, arrowheads, and possibly...
See, he's talking about coins, arrowheads, and all shit because of a crazy lunatic who said that that's the stuff that was at the crime scene. So he throws that into this, this touching piece that his lunatic fringe followers believe. It's sick.
tiny pieces of paper around their mutilated bodies. Can you guys see them? Laying there?
Can you see that?
Can you see their mutilated bodies? In one, a gash so deep that she's almost decapitated. The other would
You know, he's faking the cry. You hear that?
protruding intestines.
Ah, shut the hell up, man.
Can you see them? They're beaten, broken bodies
See,
lying in them woods,
right up here.
soaked in their blood,
Soaked in their blood. Not semen on this one. 'Cause you
left to
gotta put
die, discarded like rag dolls.
that- Well, it's not corny. It's bullshit, Johnny Bravo. He
Can you
people
guys see
believed
them?
it on the channel. No, can you see this? Now watch.
Now,
Imagine.
I want you to picture those little girls,
Or your own.
and I want you to imagine they were your own children.
That's exactly how the movie ended. Watch.
Can you see her? Her raped, beaten, broken body, soaked in their urine, soaked in their semen, soaked in her blood, left to die. Can you see her? I want you to picture that little girl.
See how he's crying at the exact same time? You think that's legit on that, guys? Oh, God.
Now imagine she's white.
And I want you to imagine they were your own children.
Oh, God. What a joke. What a joke. Yeah, there's no... this is what was underneath the video. All it was content disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed, blah, 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 and there wasn't a damn thing about A Time to Kill. Be better, don't be fooled by the con man, Slow Joe, okay? All right, there you go. And that is a reality, a total pile of crap. And for those of you who go over there and just think it's so wonderful, you're disgusting people too, okay? I'm sorry to say that, but it's the reality. Gray, who are you to tell people? I don't care. I'm nobody to tell you that. I'm telling you that because it's true. That you support I mean, I just want to start cussing. He is a horrible person. He's attacking the family of murder victims, and it's all lies, bullshit, and rumors, and he's tricking people, and it sucks, okay? And it is what it is. I don't ever say his real name on here because I don't even want any sort of credit to go where people go check it out. Okay, but if you stumble on the moron that sounds just like the voice that you're listening to there, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, he's an embarrassment to mankind, and that's the truth. You know what he did before, by the way, everybody? He threatened to murder people 3 times, and then he shut his channel down for 30 days. He talked about, he's going to show up to your house with a white glove and all this bullshit, like he's some freaking psychopathic whack. Well, I actually believe that. He's nuts, okay? So, the fact that people defend that type of behavior, what we just saw right there is an absolute joke, and the stuff that he said to people out there, the private emails, all these things, he is a monster, okay? Now, yes, we all have email strings that we've had with people that aren't great, like, oh, God, you're an asshole, blah, blah, blah. But he threatens to murder people on them. Literally. Like, he's a crazy person. I sent him off to the FBI. They actually have the comments that he made, and he goes, oh, that's great. They already have a file on me because I'm really interesting. I'm cool. Oh, my God. You guys, that's all. I don't have much more to offer tonight. I just can't do it. Yeah, nobody type it in. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So. All right. Awesome. What did you think so, Amoka? Yeah. Now, there's probably some of you out there that don't like my channel. They suck. And then I don't do anything for anything. But, the reality is different than what you think. Okay? So whether it doesn't even matter how it came about, but the freaks on this channel have been so generous to me over the years. They support me every single night on the show, and our channel has donated since January 2020. Because of the income from the channel, we've donated $93,011 from the income from the channel. So every month when YouTube sends me a check, I write a huge check out to various charities because that's what I want to do with it. Now, I do make money too because I spend 3 to 4 hours every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year doing shows, and I really couldn't justify it. So, yes, if you want to have a better bang for your buck, send your money straight to a charity. If you want to help me out, knowing that at the end of each month we're going to be helping out charities too as a group, then awesome. Excellent. But there isn't anybody on this channel that is confused about how it works. People send in super chats because they want to support their favorite YouTubers, right? And at the end of the month, instead of keeping it all and like that's $93,000 right there that I could have paid off a big chunk of the house, right? But that's not it doesn't feel good to do that. We've made a huge difference here. Look, I'll just tell you right now, like just this year is specialops.org, $600, RAIN, which is Violence Against Women, $4,221, NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, $5,665, End the Backlog, $500, NCVC, $500, the DNA Fund, $10,500. That's one of the things that makes us feel the best because it actually helps identify Jane and John Does and criminals. Texas EquiSearch, $5,000. The Innocence Project, $1,025. And there you go. That's just this year. All right. Last year, and we're at $28,511 this year. Last year was $42,500, and the year before was $22,000. I think this year we can maybe beat it. And then we also have our buddy Jeff Safera, who's donated $3,500 directly to the DNA Fund himself. Okay, so there we go. So when you go like this, who the hell are you? Well, we're actually a channel that makes a freaking difference out there. We have the DNA Fund, who we've actually donated and identified one person that's public, Daniel Armentrout. We did that last year, 1961 hitchhiker, who died in an automobile accident while he was hitchhiking, and a town took care of him. We paid for the whole thing, got him identified after 61 years. That's making a difference. All the money that we give to NCMEC and RAIN and all the different charities make a huge difference to them and the world. NCMEC is an incredible organization. Okay, so there you go. So that's all I know. People don't like it. Like, oh, Gray, he's focused in on bringing in the money to the channel. But that's the only way we can just keep doing what we're doing. I cannot do a show if it was just like 3 to 4 hours a night, just kind of piddling around. We're not making a difference, and I can't afford to do a 3 to 4 hour show every single night without compensation of some sort, right? And I don't think it's shitty at all for creators who actually do true crime the right way to make money. It's the drama bullshit channels that are selling garbage and fake stuff and absolutely doing nothing for anybody. I don't like that, but they can do what they want too. It just is what it is. None of the people that bitch and complain all the time are seen in front of HLN headquarters or IDTV with picket signs mad about their ad revenue. Okay? These are just people that complain about, they just want to complain about you. That's it. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Tomorrow night is our donation night. It's our final push night, and at the end of the first hour or so, we start sending in money to various charities. I'm hoping, the last 2 nights haven't been very good for some reason. So it'll be like, hopefully tomorrow night will be good. And I'd like to, if we've already done $1,500 this month so far. I think all 3 times maybe to NCMEC, I think. And, maybe tomorrow if we can do another 3,000 or something to do 4,500 for the month, that'd be pretty sweet, right? So that will be the goal. We'll see how it goes, though. It all comes down to the final night, right? So anyways, thank you guys for being here. I got to do some spins now. And for the people who do send in super chats and whatnot, we've got the... I wonder if do I have this go back to the beginning? Yeah, LM was first, right? Yeah, it's 6:39. What time did I... Yeah, that sounds about right. I started at 6:30. So here we go. And by the way, right now we have, for those of you who are wondering, we have 3 different cases that are back in... One's back in action. It's the 1934 Addison County Jane Doe with 2 children that were murdered, and they never were reported missing or anything. So if we can identify them, it'll probably lead back to who didn't report them, and that would be the killer, right? So we got that one. We got the Altoona John Doe, we call it. A guy that had flippers on his feet, weighted down, belt on, and was shot in the head. The flippers are just an absolute conundrum. Why would you have flippers on? Maybe he swam out himself, shot himself in the head, and it sunk, but apparently his hands were tied and bound, so I don't know how the hell that would ever happen. So you wonder why the hell he would even have flippers on. Doesn't make any sense. So there's that one, and then we have a case in Southern Oregon where they're testing a cigarette butt. They already have DNA off of it, so they're getting it ready for sequencing, and then somebody will identify that person, and that might be either somebody related to the crime or a witness of some sort. So that one's an absolute fishing expedition on that one, but it is what we're doing. Those are in the works right now. So, what do you call that, everybody? Making a difference. All right. So anyways, thank you to LM, Mama Bear, Sarita, Tawny Lee, LM, Crystal a.k.a. Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal, Charleston Amy, Tina Suster, Paul Ayers, Quietly Frozen, LM. Yeah, gifted a membership. And then Allie Cake, Jessica Schubach, Romeo's Heart, Betty Smith, Jody Lynn, Freebird Forever. And then we've got Freebird Forever with a cat eye donation, pretty much making the night at least somewhat reasonable. Let's see. Freebird Forever, and then it was Rhea Mazzarone again, and then Mama 457 Rose. First Rhea Mazzarone was 18 months as a freak. Mama 457 Rose, and then Papa Q and Zozo. All right. And we also had on PayPal, we had Lisa Corinne, Charleston Amy, Lillian, and Nancy Ramirez. Joel Ramirez, thank you. And hers was actually for tomorrow's donation night. So that was cool. And then also Amanda on Facebook. So very cool, everybody. Thank you very much. Well, what we're going to do right now is do the spin for the... I'll do the everything mug and 2 notebooks. How's that sound? I know, it sounds great. Yep. All right, hold on a second. Did somebody else just send something in? Looked like No? I thought it was weird because it added another 20 in there somehow. All right. Gotta grab that. The wheel going. And this is 2 nights combined, so it'll look bigger than it really is, but it's not really like that. Plus, when you send in a PayPal, you get 1.5. So this is 2 nights combined here. So, yeah. All right, let me switch over. There we go, there we go, there we go. Let me get the music playing. Maybe we'll do 3 notebooks. There we go. So we'll do... oh, here we go. Sorry, it's going to go quick here. This is the... Everything mug is first. Here we go. Hey, look at that. Sue Ellen from Paris wins the Everything mug. I always like it when a person that you don't see very often wins. All right. All right, here we go. We're going for the notebooks now. Here we go. Well, it's 2 nights. That's why it's a big wheel. It's not really. Some of those are PayPal ones. Oh, it's going to be a blank. Oh, no, it isn't. It's Kusam Mazad. Hey, you're too big. Hold on. There it is. That was for a notebook. Here's another one. Charleston Amy with a notebook. Alright, here we go. And there's another one. Oh, look at that. It's Amanda. I'll let her know. Very cool. Alright, well there you go everybody, that is it. So tomorrow night, we do spins for the moderators, all the different levels of channel memberships, and so forth. Yeah. Alright. Anyways. Hope you guys found that interesting tonight. I thought it was just kind of... It really made you think about how rapid things are going when you look at it like that. Because that's how fast somebody would be walking across the bridge if they're trying to catch up to somebody. They'd be walking pretty quick. So maybe, not 3:45, but even if it was 4:30, it's pretty quick. And that means they would be a little, slightly different. But they'd still be quite a ways back there when the filming started. Because they're not stopping and lollygagging around, as my mom would say. They're constantly moving at a rate to get somewhere, right? Does that make sense? So, the thing is, we'll probably, I'll always be covering another case too. Froze up and crashed. I have no idea what the hell happened there. Yeah, I had to reboot my old computer. I don't know. Can you guys see me? Tell me if you can see me or not. I don't know if you can see me. Yeah, so it looks like I'm back on there. Hello, 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 hello. Anyways, all right, forget it. I'm going to do the end here. Yeah, no, it froze. I had to reboot my whole computer crashed right in my face. Man, I don't know, man. I feel like they sold me a lemon here. I might have to get them to, I'm having too many little issues and shit. So, yeah, I'm just. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was saying. Does anybody remember what I was talking about at the end there? Now my computer just crashed. It actually disconnected on OBS, and then the whole computer just went, and it was like frozen on the screen, so I had to do a cold reset. But anyways, I didn't really remember what I was talking about, but the plan for the week, I don't even know what I was saying. So the plan for the week, don't remember now. But anyways, that's it, everybody. Wanted to say thank you all for being here tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. What does that even mean, Zozo? You're just always typing in random shit. So we'll see you next time, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. The rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple for conjecture. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later. Defo. My God. All right, see ya.